And welcome everyone to another edition of Georgia Alabama Sports Live High School Showcase presented by Sports Visions. And we got a special one today. It's the Heritage Bowl. Carver taking on Spencer. And I'm with a mentor of mine, my partner in crime with Sports Visions is none other than DJ Jones.
What's good, Thrift?
I'm so excited about this game. I know you are too. We did high school game day earlier today. We had our picks. We're excited about what's going to transpire today, but we're going to go into a little bit about both these teams. And DJ, I think you know more about them than I do. So we'll first start with Spencer being the first African-American school in the Columbus area.
Absolutely, Thrift. I tell you, man, it's just a treat to have the opportunity to broadcast these games. This one in particular, when you talk about the 61st Heritage Bowl, and I know that a lot of people from around the country have come back home, and a lot of times that this is used as a reunion of sort, not just so necessarily just for Carver Spencer, although that is probably the lion's share of folks, but, you know, family reunions and other schools that were, of course, in the area, they come back and make this game a classic. But, you know, the Spencer Greenway is under the leadership of Joseph Kegler. You know, Joseph is well-traveled, and, again, one of those coaches that, you know, he's been in every situation that you can imagine. He's been a head coach at several different schools. He's been working in the city, out of the city. He's had resources he's been without. But what he has been able to do over at Spencer High School under the direction of Miss Rosa Patterson, who's the principal, and the great support with Monk Johnson and Otis Sistrunk and some of the alumni, man, he has put together one heck of a team. And, again, he's led by quarterback Gary Gaither.
Yeah, Gary is one of the elite quarterbacks in not only the region, DJ, but in the state. He led the Columbus area in what is the top 5 teams in yardage last year with close to over 3,000 yards, and he started off hot last week. We expect him to be really good this week, and I'm with you. Joseph Kegler, he's done a great job taking over this Spencer program and getting back them to relevancy and winning a region championship last year, and now trying to make a deep playoff run. From one team to the next is the Carver Tigers. And these Tigers, we know all about them. We were lucky to be a part of their playoff run in 2021 as they went all the way to the state championship. Last year, lost in the Elite Eight, and they're led by a guy that we think very highly of, and Pierre Coffey.
Coach Coffey is entering his second year as the coach at Carver, but that doesn't mean that he hadn't been in the game along. He's been in the game along. Just his resume is very much like Joseph Kegler. He's been a head coach at several different places, but he's been at Carver before. He actually coached the Spencer team that beat Carver in 2017, one of the few times in a long, long time that Spencer has won in this contest. But I'm really, really impressed with Pierre Coffey. He's well-spoken. I like to brag on those degrees, man. He has a couple of degrees, master's degree and something else. But you know what? He's an offensive-minded coach, and he runs a tight ship. And I really like the direction that he has these Carver Tigers going.
Yeah, and this Carver team, they're young, but they're talented. So that is scary for everyone around this area because they're only going to get better as the year goes on and as the years continue to go. So great job by Coach Pierre Coffey. DJ, I do want to talk about one thing before we actually get into maybe some of the key players and stuff. We talked about Gary Gaither, but it is extremely hot right now. We were doing high school game day, and we were sweating our butts off. And I know everyone out there, the fans and everything else, player safety has got to be a big thing going into this game.
Well, you know, that's one of the things that you have to think about, but you really cross your fingers and hopefully that, everybody is hydrated. Everybody has enough ice and everything, and in the background you can hear the national anthem being played because we are 14 minutes away from kickoff. But, you know, the whole thing, I know that a lot of areas around the state have basically moved the kickoff times back 30 minutes to an hour. Unfortunately, the Muskogee County School District has decided to go ahead and play with this 7 o'clock kickoff. And, right now it's 100 degrees, man. It's actually 99 degrees in the shade.
Yeah, and the referees, they are going to have times, and when we were calling, myself and Richard, the Columbus-Jordan game, they are going to have heat timeouts in which are going to allow the players to come off, get hydrated, because the last thing anybody wants is someone falling out on the field, DJ. That would be a catastrophe.
Well, you know what? I want to hit it and quit it because I don't even want to talk that into an existence. The fact of the matter is that it is we have to maintain safety, make sure that these kids are hydrated, and of course entrust the referees to of course do whatever they need to do with regards to making the proper timeouts, the extra timeouts, giving these guys and basically observing these guys and making sure that they're safe.
Yeah, that is exactly right. And something like this is not possible without sponsors. And I'm going to give a quick shout out to the sponsors. Alliance Specialty Contractors, Terry Johnson Agency, Masterwall, Columbus Lions, Zaxby's, Behringer Construction, Farmers Insurance, the Menifee Agency, Auto Gallery Chevy, Buick GMC in LaGrange, Morehouse School of Medicine, PNB Broadcasting, Alex Quinney Allstate Agency, High School Athletics. We are live on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Facebook page, Sports Vision's Facebook page, and the YouTube channel. Subscribe and like all those pages. We do a ton, DJ, and that includes the Sports Vision's radio show, which it happens every Monday and Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. on 92.1 Smooth R&B, the Sports Vision's radio app. And we had some great guests on yesterday, and including your longtime friend, Mark Gunn.
Absolutely. And again, that's what we appreciate, having a platform like Sports Visions, and of course doing all of these great games on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live, the live streaming that you're doing. But just the radio show alone, we support our local student athletes and coaches, but we also want to bring in some of the greats that have been here. And again, Mark Gunn, who's in town now from Louisville. He grew up right here in this community, went to a school that's not open right now, Baker High School, graduated from there. But they had a communications department within, a broadcasting department within that school.
Yep.
And, you think about Shaw now, but even back then I had no idea that Baker had a communication or a broadcasting class in the school. And Mark Gunn, who now, from some 45 years later, is one of the top-ranking executives in his company.
Yeah, and DJ, you talked about the live stream. Again, you pushed me saying, you know what, go with it. You're sitting on your hands. Nothing's ever going to get done unless you just start doing it, just like you did with Dale Williams back 20 years ago in 2004. And yes, we have our Sports Vision radio show, but we have something very special, DJ. And for all the listeners now that don't know about it, I'm going to give you an insight of the premier football awards luncheon happening in December. And DJ, go ahead and tell them some of the great guests and what that awards luncheon has turned into.
Well, I couldn't talk about this awards luncheon that we're currently doing now. We're in the 16th year of the existence of the Sports Visions High School football. And now actually we changed the name because we honor junior high school players as well. But, Dale and I both grew up in this community, and we actually had an opportunity to be recipients of many, many awards that dated back to when we were in youth football. They called it, I don't even know what they called it, Pop Warner.
Pop Warner, yep.
At the Edgewood Red Devils. Even before that with the YMCA down, of course, playing in that league. But it's something about being recognized at the end of the year for your exceptional play. And again, these high school kids are no different. We were no different in high school. Yeah. When we were in high school back in the mid-'70s to early '80s, a plethora of organizations were honoring these players. That dried up and went away when Dale and I started this company about 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And after 4 years in, we decided we wanted to go to our people, our sponsors, our donors, to let them know that, hey, we got to honor these kids. It means a lot. And here we are 16 years later. We've not only been one of the premier awards luncheons in the state, but, of course, we attracted some of the best best collegiate coaches in the country. When you talk about Nick Saban has been to the Sports Visions football awards 3 different times. Kirby Smart has been here 2 different times in the 16 years. We've had Gus Malzahn and, of course, Dabo Swinney in their championship run. He has come down. And prior to that, I relied on my network of former teammates and players that I played with in college and in the pros. And we started it off, and we had a heck of a run going up to the hotel on the north side of town, which is not the DoubleTree. Yeah, the DoubleTree.
Yeah.
We were in the banquet room there, 155, 160 seater. And, of course, Mark Rick, he was the culprit to push us to the next level because he wanted to participate. And he was recruiting players in the area, and this area is full of, good high school football athletes. And Mark Rick asked to speak, and the rest is history. And, of course, we had to move down to, of course, the beautiful St. Luke Ministry Center where we have about 400, 500, 600 people. It's just been a wonderful thing to have a great place for the kids to dress up, come and get a good meal, get awarded, and, again, be recognized amongst their peers.
Yeah, exactly right. And if you're a big person that loves high school sports and you want to be active and sponsor, of course you can donate to the said schools, but what we're trying to do is give these schools, players, coaches, the proper exposure they deserve. So if they want to be a part of that football awards luncheon, DJ, how do they go about being there?
Well, they can contact me first and foremost. My number is 706-681-1136. And, of course, I'll be right now, we're at the end of August, so I'm going to be on a full court press starting the 1st of September, of course, getting all the save the dates and all the pertinent information out to a lot of the sponsors and potential sponsors. So you'll be seeing DJ Jones a lot here in this month. I know that football season, high school and college will be kicking off, but you know what? In order for us to continue to do the things that we started for these kids, we still have to we got to put it in overdrive.
Yeah, we do, and we're excited about that. And we're right into the beginning of the 2023 football season. And now, without further ado, let's actually go into this game, DJ. We'll first start with the Spencer Greenways. You talked about Gary Gaither. He's an elite quarterback, but they got some great weapons on that side of the ball as well, DJ.
Absolutely. And, of course, a good quarterback couldn't be a quarterback in an elite status without a great line and also the great receivers. I'll start with the receivers that, of course, Gary Gaither who throws to Keyshawn Sampton, Jamarian Epps, as well as Kalen Brunson and DeMarcus Horn. Those are the four wides, and they usually spread the field. And, of course, today in particularly, this offensive line is going to have to do a tremendous job against this great Carver Tigers defense in order for them to be successful today. And I think Gary is, as acclaimed as he is, as decorated as he is, his offensive line is going to have to give him some time.
And I want to give you two names. They're called the Cobb brothers. Joseph Kegler, when I was talking with at the coaches conversation, State of the Program tour, I went around and talked to the different ADs around the area for the said schools, and he mentioned both of these guys. He said, if we can't block up front, we won't be successful in whatever we do, and that's Henry Cobb and Donnie Cobb. So expect to hear those names a lot. We don't, most of the time when they do broadcasts and stuff, they don't give a lot of love to the big uglies. We do that, DJ, when we call games, and they're an integral part in someone and the teams being successful. From the Spencer Green Waves to the Carver Tigers. All right, they got a new guy starting at quarterback, Matthew Mungan. What can you tell me about him, DJ?
I had a chance to see him play. He's a long, stringy kind of guy. He's about 6'2", about 165 pounds. He's a pocket passer. He's not as mobile as the quarterbacks that you're used to seeing with the Carver Tigers in previous years, but he's adequate. He can keep the chains moving. If he gets in a little trouble, he has enough of movement to get the first downs. But his claim to fame is going to be throwing the ball down the field. And last week he threw for over 260 yards, which had him in the top 15 of the top passers in the classification throughout the state. So Coach Coffey is going to be relying on this quarterback, and he's a junior, and he has some great wide receivers as well. Braylon Jakes is one of the receivers that I want to tell you about. Of course, this young man, he is mature beyond his years. Tragic situation last year on the road. His parents were killed in a car wreck. Again, coming back from one of the road games, and this young man, he stood tall. And again, I don't know. I lost my mom, and I'm a grown man, but I couldn't imagine what it would be like, to not necessarily just lose your parents, but also you're losing them on the road when you pass the bus pass right by him, man. And he has been just a great spirit for these Carver Tigers. And again, a lot of these guys have drawn inspiration because you know what? He never complains. He goes about his business. He's a good student, and he's a heck of a receiver. Yeah,
he is. And you mentioned it, DJ. I can't even imagine going through something like that now at the age of 30, let alone at the age of 16, 17. And yet he came back last year stronger than ever. We got to call a few of his games. He's an elite receiver. I completely agree with you. And then we talked about a little bit during our high school game day show, Dante Childs. He had 3 touchdowns last game, and this is running back you. Remember Kamari Riley last year. He was an elite running back. The year before that, Mr. Creedle, he was an elite running back. Isaiah Crowell. I mean, the list goes on, and Mr. Childs is stepping in beautifully, isn't he, DJ?
Absolutely. And again, with any good running game, you obviously, or at least any good passing game, you got to have a good, run game to keep it balanced. And I know that Coach Kegler has a great deal of pride in his offense, but I tell you what, one thing is going to be really noticeable about the Carver Tigers today when they take the field, especially the offensive team. When they take the field, they have some extraordinary size with regards to their offensive line. You know what? I haven't done the math, but if every one of their linemen is about 6'2", 6'3", 300-plus pounds. It's unbelievable. And, again, that's why you see the scouts coming into town and they're making sure that they stop by Carver because, you know what, those big linemen, and especially as young as they are at Carver, and particularly when you talk about Terrence Warren, who's a 6'4", 320-pound ninth grader, who's a starter at right tackle, you understand why this Carver team has so many prospects.
Exactly right. And another one is by the name of Tony Montgomery. He's a secondary player that has come on strong for the Carver Tigers. They're high on him, and they think this defense is we're talking with Principal Chris Lindsay, we're talking with Pierre Coffey, or anyone surrounding the Carver Tigers program. They think this defense could be one of the better defenses they've had in a long time. And they also got a great linebacker, DJ.
Absolutely. A.J. Wilson is a junior linebacker, had 87 tackles last year and made all-region. He's a tremendous player, but I want you to keep your eyes on number 11, Jeremiah Branscombe. He's a transfer from Brookstone, and the thing about it is that Jeremiah has come over and fit right nicely into this offensive, or at least this defensive scheme for the Carver Tigers. But again, the Carver Tigers, their defense is their meal ticket for this game tonight, and I know Gary Gaither has to have protection from his offensive line in order to have a chance to stay in this game because the Carver Tigers defense, man, they eat people alive.
Yep, blocking is going to be the key factor for the Spencer Green Waves to be successful. Thurp Behringer, Richard Holdridge and Rick Beach are doing the Russell County-Harris County game, which will start at 8 right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. But DJ Jones, and man, we are about 3 minutes away from kickoff. I know I'm excited. DJ, you hear it in his voice. We love doing high school football games, and you see it is already getting packed. I see a bunch of fans coming in the gate right now, DJ, and we are about to be underway.
And you know what? When the captains are at midfield, and, of course, the coin toss is going on right now, the honorary captains, of course, he was the guest on our game day show. When you talk about the Spencer Green Wave team in this classic, you gotta think one thing. You gotta think that you know what, these guys gotta lay it on the line because they haven't won. I think Richard gave us a statistic that they have lost, haven't won 21. Carver's won 21 out of the last 22 games.
Yep,
22 games. Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Unbelievable.
And they've been dominant, and that only win that they've had, Pierre Coffey was a coach for Spencer back in 2017. You mentioned that, and shout out to Bobby Brown. He's on the field right now, and I know he is on cloud now. We were talking about it. He supports all things Sports Visions, and we're glad that he's getting recognized. He was a player back in the 80s for Spencer.
Absolutely. The Spencer Green Waves won the toss, and they'll be receiving. The Carver Tigers will be kicking off. The Carver Tigers are in their all-white unis. I hadn't seen that in quite some time. The Spencer Green Waves are in their green tops with the yellow pants or gold pants. Tell you what, this is going to be a barn burner. A minute and 15 seconds away from kickoff, and Thrift, we will be underway with the 61st Heritage Bowl Classic.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. As you talked about, DJ, they're in the all-white unis with the maroon hats, and then you got here come the Spencer Green Waves. They're trying to come off their region championship last year, DJ. They started off hot last week against Greenville, scoring 65 points, and they're trying to prove this is the year they can take on the Carver Tigers.
I remember we were in the same spot last year, and the hype was here. And again, the first couple of downs and the first couple of possessions, it looked like it was going to be a nip and tuck. It ended up being a blowout as Carver overtook the Green Waves 40-0. And I'm hoping that the Green Waves somehow, some way, can be a little bit more competitive today.
I think so too, DJ. Again, thank you for everyone tuning in. Like the page, share this, and just tag us. That's all we're asking for you to tag us, because guess what? I got two $25 gift cards to a lucky person that's watching the game right now, watching this feed. All you have to do is share the video and tag Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I'll be able to see it, and you'll be entered into a raffle, and you maybe get you some $25 gift cards. We ate some Zaxby's last week. They're a great place to get your tailgating on, DJ.
Absolutely. I can tell you what, chicken fingers are outstanding. And then the multiple sauces, man, I prefer the hot sauce.
Yeah, I'm a hot sauce guy too. All right, here we go. We're about to be underway, as DJ talked about. Carver is going to be kicking off, and receiving is going to be the Spencer Green Waves.
Back deep for the Spencer Green Waves will be number 12, Keyshawn Sampton. Number 3,
and kicking,
David Beal, as well as number 4, DeAndre Witherspoon.
Kicking for the Carver Tigers. I can't barely see his number. Number 29, DeAdrian Merriweather is going to be the kicker for the Carver Tigers.
Deep for the Green Waves, number
Griff,
12,
I think it's about game time.
Sampson. Number 3, David Bill.
Kids have been working all summer long to get to this point.
Number 4, Tony Montgomery.
Two of the premier programs in the city, the Carver Tigers in Class AAA, Spencer Greenways in AA.
Both teams won region championships last year, and Merriweather set to kick off, and we're underway for the 61st annual Heritage Bowl. Nice return, and man, what a hit right there by number 26 for the Carver Tigers, Colin Hodge. He laid the boom, DJ.
Yeah, Witherspoon obviously trying to find one thing about kickoffs returns, you got to find a crease and hit it. You can't dibble and dabble. You can't shuck and jive, as the coach would say. You got to hit it and go, and unfortunately, Witherspoon got clobbered.
All right, here he is, DJ. You talked about him. It's Gary Gaither. He's a leader of all leaders, and he is electric with his arm.
Absolutely. Here he is. Got two tight ends. Actually, they're not in the spread formation. They got all 4 wide receivers on the field. They're in a little tight. Look for a shift. Carver's in a 5-3, little motion.
And here comes Gaither, set to pass. He's going to go deep. There's a man open, and he catches the football. There he goes all the way down to the 15-yard line, and what an opening play right there from Gary Gaither, DJ.
And explosive pass by Gary Gaither, packed it in tight, but ended up a lot of the movement will get, they call it eye candy. Unbelievable toss by Gaither.
Gaither threw that to Kalen Brunson. He just ran right past the secondary, DJ. We talked about the Carver defense, and the receiver just ran right by him. All right, here comes the hurry up. Spencer, they are a high-tempo team.
Tell you what, last week against Hardaway, Carver had a little misfortune early on. They had an 85-yard touchdown run in the early goings. You seem to start a little slow, but I tell you what, they definitely don't want these Green Waves to get out in a hurry. And so far, so good for the Green Waves.
All right, Gaither back off of a hot start last week. 65 points did the Green Waves put on the Greenville Patriots. And they're also going to mark off 5 more yards. Don't know what the penalty was on, DJ, but now they're inside the 10-yard line. Now it's 1st and goal for the Green Waves.
Yeah, they definitely putting the pressure on the Carver Tigers defense here early on. And again, as I said, the key to this game is the offensive line of the Green Waves. They have to keep Gary Gaither covered. Keep him upright, keep the defenders off of him.
DeAndre Witherspoon in the backfield right behind Mr. Gaither. Man in motion, hands it off. It's going to be a jet sweep, and nothing going for number 14, Jamarian Epps. Good defense, good coverage for Carver.
Absolutely, and that was a good Tony Montgomery was on the tackle. Montgomery is interesting. He played for the Spencer Green Waves last year on their championship team. He was a running back. He came over to Carver, and, of course, they moved him on the defensive side, and, of course, going to be counting on him today. You got to imagine the emotions that's going on with him being a former Green Wave, now a Tiger.
That is a great point, DJ. 2 receivers to the far side. We got 2 to this side. They're going to hand it off to the running back, and no avail for number 4, DeAndre Witherspoon, and that defensive front is showing that why they're one of the top D lines in the city.
Zamar McGee, a 10th grader, 6'2", 300 pounds. He just crushed that whole right side of the offensive line the left side of the offensive line for the Green Waves to make the tackle.
Spencer, they have their receivers spread all over the field. You see how far they are. So you got trips to the near side, 5 receivers set, nobody in the backfield for Gaither on 3rd down and goal. Looks over to the sideline. Coach Kegler trying to see what play he wants to call. And I think he's going to call a timeout right there, DJ. And this is a pretty important possession to start the game. Obviously, Spencer wants to start with a touchdown, and they've gone backwards since that opening play.
Yes, indeed. And I like the fact that the Green Waves have the Tigers back on their heels. But, what they call the timeout, it must have been really serious because one thing about it, when you get a heavyweight championship fighter, when you're in a heavyweight championship fight, when you get a guy back on his heels, man, you go ahead and punch and knock him out. You don't linger. Of course, Gaither struck early with the 40, 45, 50-yard pass to put them down into the red zone, and you were hoping that the Green Waves were going to go ahead to continue to apply the pressure to get some quick scores on the board.
We got to give shout out to our sponsors, including Alliance Specialty Contractors, a full-service, veteran-owned roofing and restoration company. Thank you to Jody Crum and his staff. They have supported almost everything we have done, and we appreciate them for high school athletics. Also, the Columbus Lions, the longest tenured arena football team around the area. All right, here we go. We got 3rd down and goal, DJ. Gaither, Witherspoon, set to his right. Takes the snap, rolls to his right, throws to the end zone. It is low, but caught right at the 1-yard line, and that's a great catch by number 6, who had the opening play. Mr. Kalen Brunson. All right, DJ, what are you doing here on 4th down?
Well, you know what? You got to do what got you down here. Obviously, these guys throw the ball a lot. Got to go down on cramps. That's what we were worried about. We were worried about this weather. It's 100 degrees here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium, and we got to take, pay special attention to these athletes because, again, hydration is so important. And, again, we're taking an injury timeout for a young man. Let me see what this number is that there. Number 23. He is down right now. That's Ja'Cory West. Look like he's okay. He's getting up, but I'm looking forward to seeing a lot. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm sure we're going to see a lot of that. And it's already only 9:35 remaining in the first quarter, and we already have a young man cramping up.
2 minutes in the game, and we got someone cramping up. But that's how hot it is right now. And you're seeing a little bit of the shade. Obviously, all the Spencer fans are thankful they're on this side this year because the Carver fans are just having that sun beat down on them. But hopefully here in the next hour, we won't have to worry about the sun anymore. It's still going to be hot, but obviously a little bit cooler as it goes down. So now Carver, 4th down and goal. You think Gary Gaither, it should be in his hands. They shouldn't try to run the ball on the 1-yard line.
Well, Coach Kegler, that's his call. He's an offensive coach. However, I think that Gaither probably should be on the move, either rolling to the left. He has most of the field to the left side, and giving him a couple of choices as far as targets. But more importantly, I think that they definitely need to take advantage of this opportunity to put some points on the board while they can, because again, how aggressive this Carver Tigers defense is, and they're starting slow. Gaither coming out with the big gain here in the first quarter. So they need to go ahead and stick a touchdown on the board.
I think so too, and it gives them momentum, it gives them confidence in a game that they have not had a lot of success in. As DJ talked about, they've lost 20 of the last 21 games, the only one coming in 2017. We got our first big play of the game. It's 4th down and goal at the 2-yard line. Gary Gaither, right behind him is number 15 for the Spencer Green Waves, one of the backup running backs, Joshua Gaucher. Gaither takes a snap, rolls to the right, throws over the intended target, and there's a turnover on downs. Great job bending but not breaking for the Carver defense.
Tell you what, if Gaither had thrown that ball to his receiver, we might have seen a pick 6 that went a long way. Jeremiah Branscombe was right in the throwing lane and had an opportunity there, but Gaither had the presence of mind to just toss the ball out of bounds.
So now the Carver Tigers are going to start inside their own 2-yard line. And that is not what Coach Kegler wanted. Obviously, when you have a big play like that, you want to capitalize, and they weren't able to. So now the Carver Tigers are going to start with not great field position, and here comes that quarterback that you're high on, DJ, Mr. Mungan.
Mungan threw for over 260 yards last week. He's going to need to continue that pace tonight to put some points on the board against these Green Waves.
Mungan takes a snap, hands it off, and there goes the running back, and he gets a huge gain. Number 2, Dante Childs, who had 3 touchdowns. Not 1, not 2, but 3 touchdowns last week, and he moves the chains quickly with that run, DJ.
Tackle made by David Beal, the defensive back for the Green Waves.
Childs and Mungan. Expect to hear those names a lot throughout this broadcast. Trips to the far side. And Mungan trying to get the play call. Takes the snap, hands it off to Childs again. And good pursuit by the Spencer Green Waves on that one.
Great pursuit indeed. And, of course, the tackle was made by number 50, London Lias. Elias got a great read because he was in the backfield as if he belonged there.
For the Tigers on the tackle, number 50 for the Green Wave.
So that is going to be a no gainer. It's going to make it 2nd down and 10 now. Childs comes out, and now into the game is number 13, Kamari Miles. Also Kobe Caslin,
Gain on the play, 2nd down,
the
10.
really good basketball player. He's a sophomore this year, and he's going to get the touch. He's going to run up in between the tackles for barely any gain, and then now we got an extracurricular activities, DJ. We got a helmet on, off on the ground, and a penalty.
Tackle made by Khalil Wright, the linebacker for the Green Waves.
On the tackle for the Green Wave, number 44.
I'm going to see if that's a face mask right there, because the Green Wave has his helmet off, so I'm wondering if it's going to be on the Tigers.
One thing for sure is that when the helmet comes off, the player that it belongs to have to come off for one play from if the rules are still the same. Great crowd here today. I tell you what, Carver, you talk about how hot it is on the Carver side, and they're sitting on the east side of the stadium. We're on the home side, which is the Spencer Green Waves. West side is in the shade.
We're glad that we're in this air-conditioned press box, DJ, no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
So they're going to mark off about, I'd say, 8 yards to make it 2nd down and 15. They're going to replay the down. We didn't get really any confirmation on what the penalty was on. Munkin takes the snap, rolls out, throws it to his intended target. He makes a man miss, makes a good juke, and gets about 10 yards right there. Great pitch and catch to Dalen West.
Nice tackle made by
Number 12.
defensive back, that Ty Elise. But I like what I was seeing out of the quarterback from Carver. Of course, throwing on the run, very mobile. We said, of course, not as quick and fast as the quarterbacks in the past, but very adequate, very, very accurate passer. And, again, he's very knowledgeable reading defenses.
All right, so I was wrong. It was because it was after the play. They did not redo the down. That was 3rd down. So now it's 4th down, and it looks like the Carver Tigers are going to punt. They're deep in their own territory, and I don't blame Coach Coffey for doing that, DJ.
DeMarcus Horn back to receive the punt, along with number 12, Keyshawn Sampton.
Punter Jayshon Hall gets it off. Decent punt. Over end kick, and here's the return for number 11, who makes a couple people miss, but good coverage. DeMarcus Horn doesn't get much of anything, and then now another penalty, DJ.
Tackle made by Zathan Billingsley. I love those special team players that go out and cover kicks, cover punts, cover kickoffs.
And we see that at the college level too, DJ. The starters like playing special teams. It's not just having a special teams player that doesn't do anything else, maybe in the NFL, but in college and in high school, those are usually the starters.
If you know what I know, you want to make sure that you got your best players on offense, defense, and special team, even if it's your starters. Most coaches that I played for throughout my career, they definitely want to make sure that their best football players, whether they're starters on offense and defense, but they're definitely going to make sure that the best players are on special teams.
So that penalty is going to be on the Green Wave. So what was going to be decent field position close to midfield is now going to be backed up all the way to about the 32-yard line. And I will say, in calling these last couple of weeks, I've seen a lot of penalties on teams, and that's to be expected. I mean, they're having to shake off everything. They're a little bit rusty with the beginning of the season. All right, Gaither, man in motion, takes the snap, rolls to the right. He likes doing that. He's looking, nobody open, and he throws it over the head of his favorite target, number 6, Kalen Brunson, incomplete.
Brunson went on the wheel route. He came out in the flats and turned it upfield, but great coverage by the Carver Tigers. Number 19, Cabran Holly, and Jeremiah Branscombe.
Second down now. Gaither making sure he's on the same page with his running backs. Witherspoon. And he hands it off to Witherspoon. Witherspoon, not very big, DJ. He's a small little scat back. but he's not afraid to go in there with the big uglies, and he gets about 3 yards on the carry.
Tell you what, that was some good defensive line play that, of course, the linemen were engaged with the offensive linemen, and, of course, two-gapping is basically covering your gap to your right and your left, and great job by the defensive line by the Carver Tigers.
All right, 3rd down now. 2 receivers on each side. Witherspoon behind
3rd and
Gaither.
7 for the Green Wave.
Gaither checking the defense, takes the snap in the pocket, rolls now, tries to make a man miss, but not able to do anything, actually lose yards, and that's going to make it 4th down, DJ.
Great coverage by the Carver Tigers defensive backs. Gaither rolling to his left, had a couple of receivers in the route, but they were covered up. And Gaither had to, of course, hold on to the ball, and now it's 4th down.
So aside from that one big play, we really haven't seen anything offensively from either team. I know it's only been 3 possessions, but I like how the defenses are playing right now. All right, here comes the Green Waves, and here comes their punter. He's going to be punting for the first time today. Decent snap. Not a bad punt for Branscombe, the DB, but gets a favorable roll for the Tigers, and now they're going to start right at midfield.
Now I think you're gonna see this offense start to get crunk up after, of course, getting some great field position here at the 49-yard line of the Spencer Green Wave.
1st and 10, Carver. From the Green Wave 49-yard.
They're going to have a heat timeout, and we're going to do some sponsors.
Official timeout.
Again, we can't do any of this without our sponsors, including Masterwall is an innovative leader in manufacturing of superior exterior and interior coat. Masterwall is well positioned in the industry, large enough to meet your needs, but small enough to remember your name. Farmers Insurance, the Menifee Agency, Dan Menifee, love him, stands ready to help you with all your insurance matters, life, home, auto, renters. Thank you, Dan.
On August 26th.
The Morehouse School of Medicine, located in Atlanta, Georgia. We've got a campus right here in Columbus. Thank you, Chandra Edwards, for all her support with Sports Visions and Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And Zaxby's for all your tailgating needs, especially from Phoenix City and Ladonia. Shout out to my guy Judson. He fed all the media guys last week, and I got $25 gift cards that I'm going to be giving away. Thank you again to all our sponsors, and thank you for everybody that's tuning in right now. All we ask is that you share it and tag it. That's it. Tag us, Sports Visions, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We love that you are tuning in with me and DJ.
It's a beautiful day at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. It's quite hot, though. Again, the last time I checked, it was about 95 degrees.
99 right now.
99. Wow. Tell you what, when the sun goes down, obviously, hopefully it's going to get a little bit cooler.
But as you said, it's 100 degrees in the shade. And I was saying last night during the Columbus Jordan game, it was 89 degrees at 9:30 at night. I mean, it's hot even when it's pitch black dark.
Yes,
Don't make no sense, man. All right, now here come the Carver Tigers.
1st and 10, Carver.
Starting at the Green Wave 49-yard line. Done a good job after they're giving up that big play, and now let's see if they can have one of their own. Mungan takes the snap, looks, fires, and incomplete. Great coverage right there.
Excellent coverage by the Spencer Green Waves, and again, rolling to his right there, and that's what he does. Mungan throws on the run, sprints right, sprints left, and usually has a couple of targets in the route.
It's going to make it 2nd down now. Mungan joined by Dante Childs in the backfield, and Childs is going to get it, and there goes Childs. Childs breaking tackles and going all the way down to the 40-yard line. Great gain to make it 3rd and short.
C.J. Starr on the tackle after a nice gain by the Carver Tigers. Up-tempo right now for the offense. Mungan ready to go, but just didn't get the signals in from the sidelines to get the play off.
4:25 here remaining, 0-0 at the 61st Heritage Bowl. Spencer taking on Carver. Mungan talking Can't really hear what the referee
Spencer
said
High
right there.
School band, please do not play when Carver has the football.
So they're telling Spencer, do not play when Carver has the football, which that makes sense, DJ.
Absolutely, a distraction.
All right, now we're finally going to get set to play. Nope. We got a flag. And I think they're going to say false start on Carver. I didn't even think the play was set yet. And Mungan is really getting into his offensive line right there. That is not something you see from a Coach Coffey-led team.
You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. You obviously got excellent field position, and of course, Mungan and the entire Carver offensive staff is hoping that they can turn this into some points.
So now from 3rd and 2, turns to 3rd and 5. Spencer. And still confusion right now for the Carver Tigers. Finally, we're going to have a play. 3rd down, Mungan takes the snap. Looks, fires wide open over the middle. It's caught by number 18, Tristan Gibbons. And that looks like he got the forward progress for the 1st down.
Tackle made by linebacker Ben Watson. But I tell you what, another impressive weapon for the Carver Tigers is that tight end, the big guy, number 18, Tristan Gibbons. 6'4", 200 pounds, and he can run. Last week he had about a 50-yard touchdown on a pass and run. He caught the ball about 15 yards out and sprinted to the end zone, outracing the defensive backs.
We have not seen a big play. He hasn't tried to make a big play yet, and you know that's coming with a Coach Coffey-led offense. Mungan now in 1st down at the Spencer 38-yard line. Snap, looks, and there goes that big play, but some extra hitting right there. That was intended for Gibbons, but good coverage.
Yeah, Gibbons, gave a double move. You saw that the quarterback pump fake, and I guess apparently the defensive back was able to sneak one in. And again, you know what? You don't call what you can't see. The referees didn't call it, so it didn't happen.
DJ, you played DB at the highest level in the pros and in college. You have to be able to get away with some of those things if you're a great DB. You're gonna nudge and pull if you can.
Trust me, the best ones in the game, they are very crafty, very skillful with knowing what they can and can't do. You call it, they got the short arms.
2nd down and 10 now. Mungan in the backfield by himself. 5 receivers go out wide open, but great tackle. Kobe Castlin was the target, and he doesn't get anything.
Ben Watson, picture-perfect tackle out in the flats, and that's one of those tackles that, you have to be a phenomenal athlete because you got, one-on-one with the guy in the flats is you against him, and you're right there. You're closing on the throw. You don't give him any opportunity to raise his head up and get into the open field.
All right, 3rd down now. Another 3rd down. Tigers taking a lot of time off in this clock. Mungan gets the play call, and here come him and Childs. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Mungan takes the snap, rolls right, looks, fires, complete, and he breaks away, and he gets a shoestring tackle, but great catch by Dalen West, and that's going to move the chains.
Tell you what, that would have been a great play by the defensive back, but he came up, lost his footing, and the receiver was able to extend the play another 10, 12 yards.
He was on him, DJ. He had the chance to make the interception, but like you said, lost his footing, and that allowed Carver Tigers to move. And now here comes the up-tempo. Mungan hands it off to Childs. Childs breaking free, loses 1 tackle, goes back inside move, and gets close to another Carver Tigers 1st down.
After breaking several tackles, Ben Watson was able to bring down the runner for the Carver Tigers.
They are going to say it is a 1st down, and now Carver's going to be at the 11. They still can get a 1st down. They're not in goal line territory yet.
Thrift, this is where the momentum is starting to shift. You see in Carver's favor.
Hands it off to the running back, and there he goes. But a great tackle. Number 1, Kobe Castlin tried to break free, but not able to.
Let me tell you something. Ben Watson is putting in work. Great tackle, picture perfect. That's just like you do it when you're lining up.
That was a fantastic tackle because if he does it, DJ, he's high-stepping all the way to the end zone.
Absolutely.
2nd down now. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. We're scoreless. Both these teams scored over 40 points last week. Mungan hands it off to Childs. Childs gets in for about 4 yards, and now it's going to be 3rd down and goal.
I'll tell you what, those Spencer Green Waves guys up front are doing their thing. Again, Caleb Jones, Artross Johnson, as well as London Elias, the up front lineman for the Green Waves.
On the tackle, number 10, Joe Dozier.
And we're going to have time for one more play, and it's an important one. 3rd down and goal. And a bunch of whistles right now, and Coach Kegler and his staff, he ran on the field to get that timeout, DJ.
Absolutely, but a tremendous drive here, and again, you were hoping that the Carver Tigers were going to do exactly what they've done. You know, they're going to drive, but they got the great field position on about the 49-yard line, and they've driven all the way down to the 1-yard line, and hopefully they'll have an opportunity to punch it in. But you can gradually see, you know, and again, I've been around this game a long time, and you can see, you know, some of the energy is shifting to the Carver Tigers.
And we're going to say thank you to our sponsors, Auto Gallery, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Mark Foster and his staff. Discover the best in new and pre-owned vehicles in LaGrange. Allstate, Alex Quinney Agency. Shout out to my good friend Alex Quinney for all your insurance needs. Make sure to go to Allstate. And of course, Sports Visions. Listen to me and DJ Jones every Monday and Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. on 92.1 Smooth R&B, Sports Visions radio app, Sports Visions Facebook page, and PNB Broadcasting. You see the Q1073 van, it's out there, and we're glad to be part of the PNB family, DJ.
Absolutely, and Thrift, you definitely want to make sure that you pay attention to this doggone streaming service here, because again, folks are all over the country are taking the opportunities to watch it. Great fans of the game of high school football, but more importantly, great Spencer Green Waves and Carver Tigers.
We appreciate all the love we're getting. Go ahead and share it, because you don't know if someone's watching right now. And like DJ says, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that we're live right now at the Heritage Bowl.
Be sure to share it.
4th down.
All right, Mungan, 4th down and goal. And it's going to be
Humongous stop by number 50, London Elias, playing big up front, breaking through, getting the hit in the backfield. Did we get any penalties on that play?
I'm wondering if they blew it dead before, but you're right, that was an incredible play. There is a flag down in the end zone near the pylon.
London with tremendous get-off time. Oof. He was in the backfield before the offensive lineman got their hands off the ground.
I mean, this is going to be a huge break for Carver if there was a penalty or a pre-snap, even if it's on them, considering it would be a turnover or downs. So,
I tell you what, I made mention of the Carver Tigers offensive line. They're in that white, and that white shows all 300-plus pounds that offensive line averages.
They are big behemoths.
1st and goal for the Tigers.
So they're going to say 1st down. Now they're going to say 1st and goal, DJ, from the 1-yard line. And 19 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Hands it off to Childs. Childs gets tackled in the backfield and fumble. There's a fumble on the play. Who has it? Spencer says they do, and they have it.
Huge play. Tremendous play by Khalil White, tackling the running back in the backfield and stripping the ball loose.
Unbelievable.
Big play.
So Carver goes all the way down. Spencer goes all the way down, have a turnover on downs, and at their Carver goal line, and then before Carver can pull it in, they fumble the football.
Excellent play by Khalil White, the linebacker there for the Green Waves, not only wrapping up the running back, but also punching the ball out for the turnover.
Both defenses coming up huge with goal line stops here in this first quarter. 9 seconds remaining, and Gaither, he's just trying to get out of this goal and get some breathing room. He's going to take the snap. Screen pass over to number 11, DeMarcus Horn, who gets a decent game, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. DJ, it's 0-0 here at the 61st Annual Heritage Bowl.
Absolutely. I tell you what, man, you know what? I'm satisfied with what I'm seeing here. Obviously, a defensive battle here because the offense can't punch it in, but you know what? That's what we want. Last year, obviously, you know, we had the first couple of possessions, and then it was the blowout, but hopefully this game will be 4 quarters of good, intense football.
We're going to take a quick break. It's Thrift Behringer, DJ Jones on the call. I'm not going to call him Richard Holger anymore. DJ Jones on the call. It's the 61st Annual Heritage Bowl on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by Sports Visions. Welcome back here. Thrift Behringer, DJ Jones for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Sports Visions on the call. Carver Spencer, and we got another pre-snap penalty. We've seen a lot of those, DJ, here early on in this game.
You know what? You don't like it, but you expect that earlier in the season, man. Now, again, they just undisciplined and just not timing is not quite down. Now, come week 3, 4, 5, and you still got this, you got problems.
Yeah, then you should start getting worried. We've had a lot of fun here in this first quarter. Had a lot of action. Spencer had an opening play bomb that got him already in Carver territory. They get all the way down to the 2-yard line, and then they get stopped. And then Carver, just right there, fumbled at their Spencer 2-yard line right before they were about to put it in, and we're still 0-0. Gaither, second down now. Hands it off to Witherspoon. Witherspoon fumbles the ball, and there he goes in the back of the end zone for a safety. Back-to-back fumbles, and that is not what you want if you're the Green Waves.
Tell you what, man, we talked about this defensive front for the Carver Tigers, and again, explosive. And they of course, caused the first score by not only making the big play in the backfield, but of course causing a fumble and the safety. 2-0 for the Carver Tigers.
Carver Tigers 2, Spencer nothing.
And I know that's got to make Coach Kegler, he's sick to his stomach on that one. You get a great play by your defense, momentum meter is important towards your team, and then all of a sudden you fumble the football. Luckily, it did go in the back of the end zone, so it's only a safety, so Carver still has to drive, but that's not what you wanted after that great defensive stand.
And the great thing about safeties is that you also get the ball. You get the ball back for the offense after getting the 2 points. So it looks like, obviously, with this kickoff, the Carver Tigers are going to inherit good field position because of the alignment.
And the two guys that are set to receive for the Carver Tigers. We got number 6.
Jamarcus Davis.
And they're at the 30-yard line, so they get 10 yards. They're already at the 40, which is going to be, like you said, DJ, great field position. And here we go. 2-0 now, Carver. And that's blown dead.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Green Waves respond to this adversity, and this was an adverse situation by fumbling the ball in your end zone, and of course Carver recovering for a safety. But again, remaining poise, this all really early in the game, 11 minutes and 49 seconds remaining here in the first half. Plenty of time. Only 2-0 Carver leading, so there's really no need to panic for the Green Waves.
Not at all. Obviously, that's not how you want to start here in the second quarter after a good stand. But like you said, DJ, this game's far from over with. No reason to freak out. And it is full capacity almost here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. And for those that are not here and you want to stay where it's cool, we appreciate you joining us. So now Spencer was set to kick off at the 25. Now they got to kick off at the 15. And now the two returners for Carver at the 40.
Shout out to my main man, Kurt Crowell. He was able to give me, of course, the real deal as far as when the helmets come off. If it's not forced off, they don't have to come off the field.
Thank you, Curtis. Not a great kick. That's going to go out of bounds. And that's going to be great field position for the Carver Tigers.
Carver's going to get a great opportunity with great field position to go ahead and put up more points, leading here 2-0 with 11:49 remaining in the first half. Beautiful crowd here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. The Spencer side, or is the west side, which is the home team side. Obviously, I don't know if this is because it's the shaded side, but they appear to have quite a bit more fans on their side. Although the Carver side, they're sitting in stands. I would bear to say that there's at least 7,000 to 8,000 fans here today, right now.
Very easily.
And another 2 or 3 in the parking lot.
There you go. And then we got thousands watching online right now on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live YouTube and Facebook page. We appreciate that. And they're going to re-kick again. So, and Carver, instead of taking the good field position, which would have just been the 40-yard line, they're like, you know what? Back them up 10 more yards, make them re-kick it again. So now Spencer's at their own 10, and you got Carver guys that are set up right about midfield. So unless this is about a 70-yard kick, Carver's going to be probably in Spencer territory when they start this possession.
Jamarcus Davis and Kobe Casland, the deep backs for the Carver Tigers.
And there's the kick, a little bit of a line drive kick. And here he is, setting to return, already in Spencer territory, and there he goes. Up the gap, breaks the tackle all the way in. Wait for the signal. Touchdown. Yes, touchdown. What a return right there, DJ, by number 6.
Marcus Davis.
You just said his name.
Outstanding exhibit of athleticism. Yeah, you know, he took, you know what, I love return guys because you have to have that aggressive nature. You're not worried about these guys trying to come down and knock your blocks off. You're trying to make one guy miss, and that's exactly what Davis was able to do and put it in the end zone for his Carver Tigers.
Very smart by Coach Coffey. Instead of taking the penalty at the 40, they said, you know what, re-kick it, because I got playmakers and returners in the back that is hard to handle, and he just went right up the middle. Not great coverage by the Spencer Green Waves, and just like that, Carver's already up 8-0.
If I remember correctly, last week against the Hardaway Hawks, Carver had another big run in the special teams games, but 2 very dangerous deep return men in Kobe Casland as well as Jamarcus Davis.
Kick on the way. Hits the center right in the head. And there's one thing we can say about the Carver Tigers program. They've never really had an elite kicker, and eventually they maybe will one day. This young man has the potential to do that. But that kick didn't even get about 10 yards or 10 feet off the ground, but it's still 8-0 Carver.
Absolutely. And again, you know what, you can laugh all you want, but again, you know, when you get later in the season after you clinch those playoff bids, the special teams, those extra points, the field goals, being able to kick field goals, those count. And I know Coach Coffey is the first one that explains that to his staff and his players, but they got to find a kicker because, again, it might not hurt them here early in the season, but certainly as they march on and get up in playoff position, every point counts.
Alliance Specialty Contractors, thank you again for your support of this. Behringer Construction, LLC, for all your home remodeling needs. Call Glenn Behringer at 706-249-1099. The Columbus Lions just hired Damian Daniels, the Nighthawk. He's actually coaching right now on the Carver Tiger sideline. And Terry Johnson Agency, LLC. They can help you bundle your home, auto, RV, boat, and more. Insurance made easy.
Keyshawn Sampson is the lone returner back for the Spencer Green Waves. Actually, they have a couple other return being staggered, but Sampson is the key guy, standing on about the 10-yard line. Very explosive receiver in Gary Gaithier's arsenal.
Obviously now if you're Spencer, you want to answer after having back-to-back turnovers and then giving up that kickoff return for a touchdown. So your defense hasn't really given up a point. It was your offense that gave up the safety and then the kickoff return for a touchdown. All right, here comes the return. Witherspoon gets shellacked and he's going to go out about the 15-yard line.
Great coverage by the Carver Tigers. I love special teams play, especially aggressive, fiery young men that go down and know that it's their job to make the tackle. Staying disciplined and in their lanes, maintaining their lane assignments, but then aggressively attacking the football for a play like that on the 15-yard line. That's good coverage by the Carver Tigers.
And you just alluded to it, DJ. Special teams can make or break a game. It can make or break a season. And you're seeing that right now. And being disciplined on that side of the ball, I mean, it is crucial. And it is one of the main reasons why Carver is up 8-0.
First and 10 for the Green Waves. It's 11:29 remaining in the half. 8-0. George Washington Carver Tigers over the Spencer Green Waves.
As many like to say, the school on the hill.
The school on the hill. The hill.
Yeah, not the hill, the hill.
Yeah.
All right, Gary Gaither, he's all world. We need to see it now against this elite Carver Tigers defense. The senior quarterback been bottled up aside from that one big-time throw to start the game.
Tell you what, falling behind right now, 8 points, that's already putting a little stress on Gaither's offensive line, because they got those defensive line for Carver can pierce their ears back and go after the quarterback.
And the running back, Witherspoon, gets nothing. I think they're just trying to run the ball to stay honest. Obviously, their strength is throwing, but they are getting nothing between the tackles. Talking about that defensive line.
Absolutely. This defensive line for the Carver Tigers is one of the best in the region. And certainly it's going to take an exceptional performance by the Spencer Green Waves protecting their all-star quarterback, Gary Gaither.
Brunson's been the lead guy, DJ, and he has not had a lot of touches since that big-time play in the first quarter.
Tell you what, this is a great opportunity for the Carver Tigers to get on their toes, those defensive linemen, and come downhill after Gaither here. I know just 8-0, but you know what? That's what aggressive defenses do right off the bat. They try to kill your spirits early. We'll see if that's what the Carver Tigers defense will do to the Green Waves.
Justin Williams alongside Gaither. Gaither rolls, looking, decent throw, and a great catch made by DeMarcus Horn, but a good coverage too by the DB from the Carver Tigers.
And Tavius Watts, I tell you what, with just a split second, he would have had an opportunity to take that ball right into the end zone. But Tavius Watts is one of several brothers who played in this program over the last 3 or 4 years. Shout out to Anthony Watts, their pops.
A.J. Watts, he was an incredible athlete and basketball player. I mean, you're right, you've heard that Watts name a lot.
Yes.
When it comes to the Carver Tigers programs. By the way, I want to give a shout out to a guy we like a lot, Michael Long Jr., the baseball coach for the Carver Tigers, and all the love he shows us. Gaither in the pocket, sets, looks, in trouble, throws it across the middle, and caught by Brunson. Brunson brings it back in, but able to get a first down. That's a dangerous throw, DJ, but it worked out for the Green Waves.
Absolutely. Tackle made by
Gaither. Pass is complete to number 6.
Number 27, Antavius Watts.
On the tackle for the Tigers, number 29.
So it was not a first down. I thought they would have gave him forward progress, so it's going to be 4th down and short. And here we go. It looks like Coach Kegler's going to go for it here, or maybe they're going to try to draw him off sides. All right.
Either way, this is a huge play for the Green Waves.
And then look at that. We get a timeout because he's got to think about it. I mean, deep in the territory right here, DJ, what would you do if you were the coach?
I would kick it away because obviously that's the strength of Carver defense. And again, we're in their territory, and I don't want to give them a short field again to score more points right here with 9 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first half.
Sun's finally going down. You're seeing on the other side where the Carver Tiger fans are, they're finally getting a little bit of shade. I know that has been beaten on them. This is a big play right here for the Spencer Green Waves. And I think we talked about this before. Last time we said there was a big play when they had it 4th and goal, trying to score on that opening drive. You want to keep it in your playmakers' hands. Obviously, let Gary Gaither do his thing.
I tell you what, this is taking a chance, but you know what? No guts, no glory. I guess that's the old saying with Coach Kegler trying to extend this drive. 4th and 1.
Gaither hands it off to Witherspoon. Witherspoon, did he get enough? It is close. Oh, and the referee says we don't even have to spot it. We're giving them a first down, and like you said, it takes some cojones to go for it right there, and they got it.
Gutsy call by Coach Kegler, but again, you know what? Again, he understands you can't afford to get behind by a couple of scores on the Carver Tigers here in the early goings. But if he can keep this thing even and even put points on the board, that would be just tremendous for the Green Waves at this point in the game.
I completely agree, and I think Coach Kegler's getting the feeling like, hey, we're down 8-0. We need to go down and score right here. We need to show that we can play with these guys.
And you know what? I want them to go down and score because I want a good game.
Great point, DJ. All right, we got Stacks on the near side. Witherspoon inside with him. That's going to be a screen pass. And he just gets clobbered by a multitude of Carver Tigers as number 12, Keyshawn Sampton.
Tony Montgomery was also in on that play, his 2nd tackle of the game. Montgomery, the transfer from Spencer.
Played running back last year for them, DJ, and was all-region player.
Absolutely. Sometimes, though, when you come over to a school like Carver, they already have their backs established, and a great athlete like Montgomery, he found a place to play on defense. Starting at strong safety tonight.
2nd down, 10 for the Green Wave.
In the backfield is number 4, DeAndre Witherspoon, number 14, Jamarian Epps. Epps in motion, hands it off to Witherspoon. Witherspoon breaks a couple tackles, not the 3rd one, and that's something about this Carver Tigers. They keep coming. It's not just one, it's a gang of Tigers. They go after him, and they lose yards on that one. DJ.
Tell you what, I wasn't impressed on all the missed tackles, but I was impressed on all the maroon helmets running to the ball. At least 5 defenders running to make the play, and that's what you have to do, an aggressive defense, because again, all it takes is one tackle to be broken. If the other guy is lacking, you know what, Katie barred the door. But when you got 4 or 5 guys running to the football, those chances are minimized.
Third down and 9 now for the Spencer Green Waves.
Big down for the Green Waves.
Witherspoon. And here comes Gaither. Gaither pumps, fires. There's a man open, and he catches it. What a play by number 11, DeMarcus Horn, and an even better throw by the all-world Gary Gaither.
Absolutely, and those are the things that, of course, have given Coach Kegler the success he and his star quarterback. They have the opportunity to connect on the deep ball, and again, you give them a little time, man. I tell you, you know what? He can get it done. I love the way he puts the air up under the ball. It gives his receivers a chance. A lot of quarterbacks, especially on this level, don't understand how to let the air get underneath the ball to give your receiver an opportunity or a chance to make a play.
First down now for the Green Waves. Trips to the near side. And then hands it off, and there he goes. Breaks a tackle, runs over a man, and good run by Justin Williams, and he keeps the chains moving for the Green Waves.
Tackle made by Cabrin Holly. If he doesn't make that tackle, he will bump his head on the goalpost in the end zone. And the guy who made the tackle, obviously, I saw him getting up, shaking and holding his shoulder, but he went down low on the runner, and hopefully he'll be okay, but he seemed to have hurt his shoulder. That's Cabrin Holly. He's up and walking to the sidelines. Probably got a stinger.
Yeah. I mean,
but a very, very impressive looking offense by the Green Wave. They've been rejuvenized as you see them come out of their territory, and a couple of great plays after the big connection by Gaither.
And that's why you keep your head up, you move forward, you don't keep looking back on the mistake you made. You just keep trucking along. And right now, when you got a leader like Gary Gaither, how important is it to have a senior quarterback leader for your team?
You know, one thing is that we noticed in the city this year, we went to the media days, and there's a lot of young quarterbacks. A couple of schools are starting freshman quarterbacks. Well, Gary Gaither is a seasoned quarterback. If I'm not mistaken, he started for all 4 years, certainly all 3 years, and he's been an all-star quarterback for the last couple of years. So, you know, games like this, he can look them in the face and not worry about it, not be nervous. You know, that's a big part of playing quarterback in the high school, on the high school level. Not being afraid to take chances, not being afraid to play your game, knowing your strengths and attacking.
All right, so now we're going to see if everyone's good. By the way, just got an update. LaGrange already up 22-0 on Northside in the second quarter. So those Grangers, they are starting where they left off last year. And they dominated Northside, the only loss Northside had in the regular season. All right, Spencer's got it now at the Carver 28-yard line. They're driving. They're only down 8-0.
7:09 remaining here in the half, and the Green Waves are in the Tigers' territory on the 27-yard line. Kegler's going to talk to his quarterback here. Those guys have a great relationship, and you know what? You have to have that. Joe Kegler, and he's a head coach, but he's an offensive-minded head coach. He usually calls his plays, has been calling his plays ever since I've known him to be a head coach.
Gaither been showing his arm. He has not used his legs, and he does have deceptive quickness. We'll expect him to tuck it and run here. Williams, side Gaither. Gaither looks. Is he going to use his leg? No, he throws it over the intended target, and number 14, Jamarian Epps.
Had some receivers open down the field, but again, that Carver Tigers defensive line makes it ugly and doesn't leave a clear path for Gaither to plant his feet and get the ball to the receivers. And again, that's going to be the key holding back this Carver defensive line.
Second down now. Gaither takes the snap. Miscommunication on the part of the running back, but a nice job getting that out with a quick throw to DeMarcus Horn. And it's going to set up third down and short now, DJ.
Good to see Holly back in on the tackle. He was the guy that got shaken up on the last couple plays ago. Had to go jog off the field with an injured shoulder, but he's back in the game. Always good to see that. 6:35 remaining in the half.
Third down and short now. Spencer answering after giving up a safety and a kickoff return for a touchdown. They're down 8-0 here in the second quarter. Hands it off, and good pursuit by the Carver Tigers, and they're going to lose 2 yards. And now we got another big fourth down coming up for Spencer. And obviously, if they went for it in their own territory, you expect them to go for it here.
Tell you what, Coach Kegler must see something up front, because I know that the Tigers are strong, and that's one of their best strengths, their defensive line. Got a man down on the field. Timeout on the field.
And I feel like there's been a lot of cramps. Obviously, it's to be expected with all the heat that is happening right now. But let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Thank you again to all our guys, including Alliance Specialty Contractors, Terry Johnson Agency, Masterwall, Columbus Lions, Zaxby's, Behringer Construction, Farmers Insurance, the Menifee Agency, Auto Gallery Chevy, Buick GMC, Morehouse School of Medicine, P&B Broadcasting, Alex Quinney Allstate Agency, and Sports Visions.
It's starting to really get nice here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium as the sun goes down, and I feel a little breeze off the Chattahoochee. Small breeze.
Yeah.
Not much.
Not much.
But I feel one.
Yes. Fourth down now. Witherspoon. Man in motion. Gaither. Did he get him to move?
Yes, he did.
I think he did, DJ. And there's going to be an automatic first down.
Courtney Kelly jumped offside for the Tigers, and I know that he is upset with himself more so than the coach is being upset, because, again, this is an opportunity to keep the Spencer Green Waves off the board, but you just started over a fresh new set of downs for the Green Waves deep into the Carver Tigers territory.
So now they're inside the red zone at the 16-yard line. Spencer answering the bell right now, moving the chains. That is, I would say, 3 straight times they have answered either on 4th down or 3rd down, getting the first down. Gaither, 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the right. Gaither looks, fade to the corner, it's intercepted!
Tremendous play by Jay Branscombe, picking off the pass on the fade. Again, he's doing a tremendous job because he was just he and the receiver. He was in perfect position, got his head around, saw the ball, high pointed it, and got his feet down in the end zone. Great play.
DeMarcus Horn was the intended target, and he was not open. That was going to be a tough play anyway, but a great job by the Carver Tigers, and that is a turnover that is going to break the backs of the Spencer Green Waves as they were driving right there, DJ.
4:59 remaining here in the half. Of course, still a lot of time for the Carver Tigers to put some points on the board, and I know that Coach Coffey is going to probably go down the field and try to make a deep strike. He's going to try to definitely get another score on the board.
Yeah, trying to make a statement. So Mungan had a lot of possessions here in this game. Gets a snap, hands it off, and there goes number 1, Colby Caslin. And he gets about 9 yards on the first down.
Good physical tackle by Khalil Wright after the 6-7 yard gain.
It's going to make it 2nd down and short now.
Sideline warning against Spencer.
Yeah, I can tell, Thrift. You check the temperature because it's definitely not as hot as it was. It's definitely cool enough.
Yeah, it's already down to 90 degrees, and it's only going to get cooler, which is what we want for these players. Mungan takes it, hands it off to Caslin. Caslin bounces it out to the left, outside, and gets a huge gain all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Tremendous run by Caslin after making 1 miss, and the second defender closed in to finish him off.
Caslin has a bright future, the 5'9" sophomore. Getting a lot of work here in this first half. And Carver usually have a multitude of running backs. Obviously they have their workhorse, but they like sharing the ball all over. Mungan looks under pressure, throws it deep. He's got a man open. He caught it. What a play by Galen West. Great throw by Matthew Mungan. And Coach Coffey's running him down, saying, hurry, hurry, it's up-tempo time.
I was expecting that Coach Coffey to go up top because, again, to get another score on the board here with 4:18 remaining in the half would be just that much more insurance on this 8-0 lead. Of course, being just leading 8 points, obviously the Spencer Green Waves have the firepower there. Of course, we talk about the explosiveness of Gary Gaither and his receivers, but Coach Coffey wants to extend this lead if he can.
I've been impressed with Mungan so far, especially on the deep throws. That was put in, they call it dropping it in a bucket, and he did just that. And Mr. West has had himself a day here in this first half. Mungan takes a snap, looks under duress, and there goes the first sack of the game for the Spencer Green Waves. Much needed, and that's going to back them up 8 yards.
You've been hearing this name a lot, Khalil Wright. He was the one to get the sack. Wright is a very, very impressive defensive player for the Green Waves. Big play for the Green Waves.
So if you're Spencer, again, you've had that bend, don't break mentality here, in which the 8 points that Carver scored did not come on the offensive end. It came from a fumble by Spencer and safety on the defense, then a kickoff return for a touchdown. So Spencer's defense has done their job, and they need to get a big-time stop here to make it still 8-0. Mungan takes a snap. Here comes Dante Childs. Dante Childs breaks it outside, throws a man, stiff arms him, and gets about 10 yards to make it now 3rd and manageable.
Ben Watson made it possible for the runner not to score because, again, made him change directions. Because otherwise it would have been, as they say, Katie barred the door.
I love the sayings my partner has. DJ Jones.
Hey, old school, man. I've been around a long time.
My favorite of all of them is the butt naked truth. Because you know you're getting the truth when it's butt naked.
As we are in the press box here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium, and you know that all the dignitaries, this is the air condition, and everybody that's somebody in this stadium today is in the press box.
Mungan takes a snap, 3rd down, looks, fires over the middle, caught by West again. Have yourself a day, Dalen West. And another great throw right there by Mungan.
Absolutely. Mungan is he's impressive. I tell you, you know what? That's the strength in the pocket, reading the defenses, finding the seams in his open receivers, and that's what he's done all the way down the field here. Ball on the 7-yard line.
He's only a sophomore, and he breaks a tackle. Does Kobe Caslin, and there is a flag. But as you talked about, Mungan, 6'3", 165 sophomore, and it's going to be a timeout now. Carver. We're going to take a quick timeout with 1:57 remaining here. It's Carver Spencer 61st Annual Heritage Bowl in Georgia, Alabama. Sports Live.
Coming up at halftime, battle of the bands in the Heritage Bowl. Offense. Field goal first down. Timeout. Ball.
Thrift Behringer, DJ Jones, Georgia Alabama Sports Live Sports Visions for the 61st Annual Heritage Bowl, Carver and Spencer. We've had a good one so far. It's 8-0. We have not had an offensive touchdown yet in this game. And Carver's driving, led by their sophomore quarterback, Matthew Mungan.
And he's very impressive after, of course, opening week, 267 yards in the air, a couple of touchdowns. And, you know, the scouting report on him is that, you know, he is definitely a better passer than runner, although he is adequate. He can get the chains moving. And I understand it, and I appreciate that more so, you know, especially when you got two electrifying running backs that they have, led by Castle.
From the 19 for the Tigers.
All right, Mungan's got it. 2nd down and 10. Looks, he's going to throw it to West, his favorite target. West dives incomplete. And the way they've been hooking up here in this first half, I thought that was going to be a touchdown.
Tell you what, man, I'm impressed with the touch by not only Gary Gaither, but Mungan. You know, we've seen him have a couple of passes here. And again, you know, it takes a special player. It takes a special skill to be able to get the ball, get the air underneath the ball, and time it up with these receivers that are running down the field. And I'm impressed with those guys. They've been working very hard in the summer. It's obvious.
Matthew Mungan's got the ball now. 3rd down and 10. Childs is going to move to the near side, and I think they're going to have illegal motion. False start on the Carver Tigers. A lot of pre-snap penalties, as we talked about here in this first half. It's going to make it now 3rd down and 15 for Mungan. Still, especially with Carver's situation in the kicking game, I feel like this is 4-down territory right here, DJ.
You're absolutely right. 1:26 remaining here. 3rd down, 19 yards to go. Huge down for the Tigers offense.
By the way, Brookstone and Glenwood are tied right now, 7-7. Some other action going on in the Tri-City area. Mungan takes a snap, 3rd and 15. Throws it, screen pass. But good coverage by the Spencer Green Waves. They're actually lost a yard to make it 4th down and 16.
And guess who was on the tackle?
Who's that, DJ?
Khalil Wright. He's probably has almost 8-9 tackles already.
Yeah.
Huge plays, and he's a player.
He is a magnificent defensive player for the Spencer Green Waves, and a timeout, Carver. And obviously, you can't punt it here. You're at your 25. I think it's too far for a field goal, so you're just going to have to go for it. And if you're Spencer, if you can get a stop here, I still think you got enough time to be able to score before the half.
Tell you what, that's wishful thinking with 55 seconds remaining in that Carver defense. But you know what? You know, this is the part of the game where, again, if you had a field goal kicker, this would be easy money. Those 3 points would certainly be better than none at all. That's not even an option right now for the Tigers, who have the ball on the 25-yard line. That was just basically a 37-yard field goal. But it's no way, the way what we've seen of those point afters, there's no way in the world to line up to kick a field goal at this point in time.
That would be wishful thinking. Trip Behrens, your DJ Jones. We're having fun here, and finally the sun's gone down. It's beautiful at this historic A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. Shout out to Athletic Director, Citywide ID, Jeff Battles, and his staff did a great job making sure everything was in order for tonight's festivities. All right, 4th down, Mungan looks, fires, did he catch it? Touchdown! What a play. Braylon Jakes, the guy we talked about at the beginning of the game, wide open in the middle of the secondary for Spencer. Nobody's covering him, and makes a diving attempt for the touchdown.
Huge play by Mungan and Braylon Jakes. Jakes' concentration, the ball was thrown a little bit underthrown, but Jakes went down and got the ball, got his hands underneath so that he can get the catch, secure the score, and tremendous play. Do we have you know what, there is replay in high school football this year.
Yeah, there is. And I'm wondering if we have those capabilities here at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. I'm looking at our producer, my guy, Toygar. Are they going to be coming to you for that replay?
It looks like it's going to stand.
DJ, if you're the Spencer Greenways, that has got to be a backbreaker on 4th and 16 to give up a touchdown like that.
It is, but at the same time, you know what? You got to be like a duck, man, and let it roll right off your sleeves, because you have another half of football to play. And being down 14 right now, 14-0, is not too far-fetched when you have a quarterback with the talents of Gary Gaither.
And the extra point is good. The Carver Tigers, the Carver Tigers now lead 15-0. 44 seconds remaining here. Georgia Alabama Sports Live High School Showcase and Sports Visions. So glad to be here for the 61st annual Carver Spencer game. And Carver, what a big-time play. We talked about Gary Gaither, but Matthew Mungan is starting to make a name for himself as one of the better quarterbacks in this area.
And he started last week, as I said before, 267 yards or so and a couple of touchdowns. You know, the word is that he is a pocket passer, but I like him on the run. I'd like to see him roll into his right and his left. Very, very accurate. And again, as we saw a couple of plays ago, great touch on his deep ball.
So we were talking about if they were able to get the stop, it would have been 44 seconds remaining in the first half. Could Spencer score? If you're Kegler, Coach Kegler, obviously you want to try. You don't want to just run the clock out. You're down 15-0, but you don't want to turnover either and give the ball right back to Carver to maybe score again.
You're absolutely right. We're 44 minutes away from our halftime show, Thrift, and you know, on Slate we would love to talk to the principals, but there's so many dignitaries we can pick. From the school board chair, Pat Hughley Green, we got the Honorable Kelvin Smyrie in the building, of course, the city manager, Isaiah Hughley, just a plethora of people that we're going to talk to. But I think, you know what, we wanted to speak to the principal from Spencer, Rosa Patterson.
Oh, yeah.
But we found out that she's going to be involved in the presentation at halftime. So is Principal Lindsay from Carver. So I'm going to plug somebody here shortly.
And DJ will be talking with one of these great people around the area. So make sure you stay tuned for our halftime show. We'll take a quick break right after this, and then we'll have that. And here comes Witherspoon on the return. Witherspoon, he breaks a tackle. Witherspoon going down the sideline. Does he have enough blocks? Spins. He keeps going all the way down to the Carver 45, and there's good field position with 30 seconds left. Try to score if you're Spencer.
I love the energy. I love the excitement, the explosion, the electricity of the return man. But again, 30 seconds remaining here in the in the half, and it's going to be a Hail Mary or bust for the Green Waves offense.
There is a flag on the play, and I wonder if this great return is going to be negated. And it looks like they're going to get Spencer with holding. So all that for nothing. And now I'm wondering where the penalty was at and where they're going to mark it off all the way to the 19-yard line, DJ. And now, if you're Spencer, I think you don't want to get in trouble. I think you just keep it safe. If you would have started at the 45, a little bit different, but with that holding penalty, bringing it back, I don't think you want to take the chance of maybe turning it over here.
You're absolutely right. You know, if I'm the coaches right now, we're going to go ahead and get these 30 seconds off the clock, not try anything crazy. Because, again, being down 15 points, especially if you're the Green Waves, that's not a lot. Again, we keep alluding to the fact that how explosive Gary Gaither is, and if his offensive line protects him, he can get it done. Now the thing is for Coach Cagle to go back in the locker room at halftime and keep these guys calm, because this game is nowhere near over.
No, it is not. And if you stop shooting yourself in the foot, a couple of plays go here, there, a couple of breaks go here, there, you're right back in this game. So there it is. We are heading to halftime. The Carver Tigers lead the Spencer Green Waves 15-0. Griff Behringer and DJ Jones on the call for the Georgia-Alabama Sports Live High School Showcase at the 61st Annual Carver-Spencer game. We will be right back after this.
Focus your attention to midfield.
Welcome back to A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium, where the Carver Tigers are leading the Spencer Green Waves 15-0. Joining me here in the halftime show in the booth, the chairman of the Muskogee County School District, of course, board, is Pat Hughley Green. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. This is always a festive time. It is. 61st annual Heritage Bowl, and I tell you, man, being a Carver graduate, you know what? My mom and dad were Spencer graduates. This is a special game for this community.
It really is, and it's great that high school football is celebrated on this level, and to see all of the people out tailgating as well as being, the diehard fans that they are. So this is a big game, an exciting time of the year, and we look forward to it as board. We look forward to coming out and sharing in the festivities. And some of them are alumni, and I am a proud mom of a Carver alumni class of 2023. So this has always been an exciting game. My children grew up with me being on the school board. So we've been doing this since the beginning.
It's amazing. I've been knowing you for a long time, but 18 years on the board, Pat.
18 years flew by just like that.
Unbelievable. Well, school just started. Now, again, I know that you guys have been meeting and you continue to meet, but so far so good. Get the first couple of weeks or first week or so of school.
Everything, the schools have reported that they've had great first day, great first week, great start off to school. As far as athletic events, something that's new, we will have some bag requirements, some carry-on bags into the venues for athletic activities. And so looking at small bags right now, maybe changing to clear bags later on. And it's nothing new. It's
Right.
been going on for years all over the country, from professional sports down to K-12 public high schools. So.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, Pat, again, a lot of people out there, they hear about the school board and they hear about the chair and all the committee board members. Let's talk a little bit. Let's break it all the way down for the folks that are listening out there, because people are listening all across the country, not just here in this community. But when you talk about the job and the responsibilities of a school board, can you enlighten us on what that encompasses?
Sure. It's, public education is highly regulated. It's paid for by our state government and our federal government. And so school boards are in charge of making sure those local funds, federal funds, and state funds are allocated appropriately to make sure that we are closing the achievement gap, to make sure that we have the best educational professional at the helm as the CEO, which would be a superintendent, and that for boards are to be governing bodies, not focused on the day-to-day, but the overall governing of the school system. And so with that, what I tell students when I visit schools is we're in charge of your field trips and then your lunch, and then you get a lot of feedback and questions about that. But it is more than just authorizing field trips and authorizing lunch schedules, and it's quite an ordeal. And it's rewarding work, because we have the great fortune to interact with students, and the decision that we make impact their future, the future of their families, the future of our communities. And so we take that work very seriously. It is hard work, because when you're dealing with folks' babies.
Oh, yeah.
And they can put their hands on you. That means one-on-one. They can, it's not someone that's in D.C. We're local. We're in the grocery store. We're in church with you.
Yes.
We live in your neighborhoods. And so, there's some real up and close and personal work that we do. And, having children has really given me a really great perspective. I have an opportunity to work with the teachers, and so I can understand how the decisions that we make impact the work that they're trying to do. Because, in big organization, the Muskogee County School District is considered a large school system, because we have over 92% of school-age children attend public school, and we have at least 5 super great private schools. And so we have 32,000 students. And so when you have an opportunity to interact with teachers and those professionals that are down in the trenches, as a parent, and to see the decisions that we make and how it impacts what they do, or how it could improve what they do. So that's been really most rewarding thing for me, and the best thing about the way I'm able to serve. And so that has really been a great deal.
Well, Pat, I tell you what, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for educating the folks out there, because people are listening not just all over the nation, all over the world, because this is streaming live. And
well, that's awesome.
Carver and Spencer graduates, high school football fans all over America are listening right now, and I appreciate you spending time with us.
And don't forget that announcement.
I will do it. Well, actually, you want to go ahead and do it now before we go to our next guest?
Sure, let's do that. In Muskogee County, in Columbus, Georgia, we have our historical first, a student art gallery, and it's done by Carver alumni 2023 graduate Kevin Green, and he is my son.
Kevin Green.
Yes, he's a Boy Scout, and it was his Eagle Scout project. If you go to the Columbus Civic Center, on the side with the Sports Hall of Fame is a student art gallery. And so it's designed so that student artists will have a public place to display their work, and it's going to rotate from school to school. And currently you can see Carver High School on exhibit right now. And so that's an opportunity. He had that opportunity to have artwork displayed in the Atlanta airport, and he wanted to do
Wonderful.
that.
Thank you so much. I know you're proud.
I'm very proud.
And thank you again for sharing
I appreciate it.
Our listeners. Hey, yeah, exactly. Principal Lindsay said, tell them where you went to school, or where Kevin. Oh, she said that several times.
Yes. Proud.
All right. Thank you so much,
2023 graduate.
Appreciate you. All right. We're going to welcome to the halftime show the principal of George Washington Carver Tigers, the Proud. Of course, he's a hoot. He's a guy. He's a man's man. Chris Lindsay, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Great, man. Seemed like it was just a couple of days ago I was talking to you on the radio show, Thrift and I, when you guys, of course, dedicated the practice field facility up on the hill named it the Dale McGee Practice Field, and, of course, at the Wallace Davis Complex. Again, congratulations. Yes. Thank you again. Because it takes a guy like you to just, kind of go ahead and just make that happen.
It's good to remember folks while they're still here. And the biggest thing is I grew up around all of them. And they raised me right. They raised you right. and that's the reason why we're here today.
Speaking of raising, you got your little one here following you around, man.
Correct.
And I think that is so great to expose him not only to athletics, but you got him up here with us, a lot of dignitaries and whatnot. And
Correct.
I mean, you've done that for a while.
Yeah. He's been exposed to basically everything, and he loves HBCUs. He loves going to the games. He loves Carver. That's the only school he wants to watch. Carver and Albany State.
Absolutely. First week or so of school, man. How's it been going?
So far, so good. No major problems. Just the same old thing that happens every year. So everybody's trying to get adjusted, especially the freshmen.
In registration, and I know that you guys have a time and a place for all of that, but so you still have some people that come in and they're late. Mm-hmm. What's the rule now? I mean, if people are they still registering here? Well, you're 2 weeks into school now, or a week in?
Well, it's not as many. You may see maybe 1 or 2 come in per week now. But in the beginning, you would have a slew of people who did not finish their online registration, which is required in order to be enrolled into a school in Muskogee County. So when they do not have that information uploaded, then they can't be enrolled. And so, but we've done a great job of allowing our parents to come in. If they need to use our computers, they use the computers. And we've been rocking and rolling ever since.
A lot of your success to me has been watching you from afar and to see not only how you watch and make sure that your athletic programs thrive, but also the other auxiliary organizations, the band, the dance team, the cheerleaders. I mean, how important, and I know how important it is for this game day experience that we have cheerleaders and dance team and the band, but for the morale of the students and the morale of the Carver Nation, how important it is for you to both thrive athletically and with the other auxiliary organizations.
With all the other organizations, that contributes to the environment of the entire school. And when we have kids, hundreds of kids participating in different activities and extracurricular activities, it contributes to the whole entire school because they want to do well inside the classroom so they can continue to play. And so when they continue to play and do well inside the classroom, this is the result that you get.
Chris, what is it that you would want, not just the alumni, to know about Carver High School, that school on the hill? Mm-hmm. What is it you're so proud of, and you have opportunity now to speak to folks all over the country, Carver Tiger fans, Spencer Green Wave fans, and just high school football fans in general? What do you want them to know about your school, Carver High School?
It's the biggest family there is in Columbus, Georgia. All of us, from 1963 up until now, we have the best camaraderie amongst each other, and we love each other. And just like you see tonight, thousands of alumni are out here, more than students. There are more alumni here than students, and so that contributes to what quality education they received when they were at Carver High School and how they progressed with that education to where they are now.
Absolutely. Now, again, I mentioned on the radio show the other day that, we want you to stay around a lot longer than you might be thinking. But you know what? You're not ready to admit to how much more time you're going to give us, are you?
No, I ain't ready.
Well, Chris, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. And, again,
Always.
Keep up the good work. And hopefully we'll have you for another 5-10 years.
No.
All right. Take care. All right, buddy. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Lindsay, the principal of George Washington Carver High School. Wallace Davis, my coach, just came in the box, and, of course, we'll be talking to him in just a little bit. Have the principal of Spencer in the building, Miss Rosa Patterson, who has brought me something to eat. Look like a nice plate. Let me get you all hooked up there. How you doing? Congratulations.
Doing well. Thank you.
You have been buzzing all around, and you've been all over, and glad to have you here, of course, because I wanted to make sure that folks all over the nation, not just in the region, this broadcast is being streamed live all over the world, and you got Spencer Green Wave alumni all over the world, as well as Carver Tigers. And congratulations, this is your first week of school as the principal. You've been a long-time assistant and a very supportive assistant principal. And again, how does it feel to have your own school now?
Well, I will tell you, I'm so thankful, one, for inviting me here. So I want to say thank you to you for what you do for spreading the knowledge and the information throughout the community. Without people like you celebrating our students, they wouldn't have the same platform. For me, I will say we took off running back in April. We got community stakeholders around our students, and you know it takes a village to raise a child. And so our village is very strong. Spencer was founded in 1930, so it's a rich legacy of a lot of alumni who really want to see the students succeed, and we're really supportive of those students. So thank you for what you do to give back to us.
Thank you, Ms. Patterson. Why don't you let everybody know where you're from, where you went to school, all that good stuff, because, again, you have a legacy, a historic, iconic institution that you are front and center. You're the CEO right now.
Yes, sir. From Columbus originally, undergraduate degree from Howard University in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Majored in biology, minored in chemistry.
All right now.
Came back home and got a couple of degrees from CSU, so shout out to CSU as well. And I'm just happy to be here to share the knowledge with the students to be able to make it out and to move onward and upward.
And, I tell you, but we're so proud of you. Of course, it's no secret that we've been friends for a while, and you would, send me notes and all the things that were going on at Spencer. And, again, I appreciate that because, again, there are others in the community that do that, but you're diligent, not just on athletics. You were sending me the kids on all walks of whatever they were doing in school. You would send me the accolades and all the mentions. And, it's good to see somebody in administration that cares.
Absolutely. We're very proud of, especially of our athletes, because they work hard in the classroom and on the field. It's not enough for you to get out and to throw the ball or bounce the ball. We want to make sure that you also do what you have to do in the classroom as well. So we're proud of our students for really holding it down in both places.
Ms. Patterson, again, I know that you're entertaining a lot of alumni, and you got a lot of hats going tonight. But what is it that you want the folks out there to know about you and your direction with leading the Spencer Green Waves?
So one of our focuses this year, the vision is to make sure that we lead with sustainability and connectivity, making sure that we all stay connected, that we're not separated. Our village came in, I think, 37 strong. We had 37 businesses in the school in April coming back to support the students and our alumni. Every time we call, there's nothing I've not asked for that they didn't come by and support our students because they want to see them win. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone in the community and also to our alumni for just being so strong and coming back every time we put the call out. So we really appreciate that.
Well, once again, congratulations, and I want to thank you for being the person that you are leading the Spencer Green Waves.
Thank you for what you do, sir. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. We're going to slip those headphones right off, and again, I'm going to go to the icon, the living legend. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate Ms. Patterson. But we're going to give these headphones to a guy who obviously probably had these. He knows what that's like. That's not a headset, Coach. We're going to actually broadcast this interview with you, and Thrift, help him out. Got a few minutes here, Coach. I'm going to get as much as I can in this 4.5 minutes, but good to see you, man. I tell you what, I got to tell you this in front of everybody and God. I miss seeing you on a regular basis, man. I know when COVID hit several years back, everybody had to push back. But since that point in time, man, my life has changed tremendously, and I know yours has as well. But you know what? It's good to see you still here, still supporting, and still giving that wisdom and knowledge.
Well, first of all, D, I want to say the job that you all are doing, you're covering a lot of people in sports in a lot of positive ways. And you can't say enough about that. I've been hanging around. I know we used to eat lunch every day for a period of years.
Yeah.
And I got, although I was a senior in the group, I got a lot of good experience from a young guy that I started first with as a quarterback, and he was determined that he was going to be successful, and Lord knows he has reached that goal.
Coach, again, coming to this classic, obviously you were a player for the Green Waves a few years back, but you also a longtime coach at Carver. I mean, how have you been able to wear that pride and of course, of your high school, and then, of course, the great legacy that you established at Carver?
Well, first of all, when I was in high school, there was only one high school. I went to the 9th grade at Carver. All the students in the 9th grade at Carver went to Spencer, and there was another junior high school called Spencer Junior High, and all the kids in the 8th grade went. So we all went to one high school athletic school, and I just can't say enough about how hard it was to make a Spencer team during those years. It was really tough, but 32 years before another high school started, Spencer carried the torch from 1930 up to 1962, and another high school came You can't say enough about the legacy at Spencer. And then in 1962, Carver became a high school, and they've been a high school some 30-some years. But you can just see the fruits of the labor of the kids coming from Carver, going to high school, going to college, and you can't take anything away from Spencer because Spencer legacy started 32 years before Carver High School did.
Well, Coach, I tell you, man, it's always good to see you. And again, I'm looking forward to having conversations with you in the studio as we always do. Football season is just kicking off. Of course, this is the second high school football game, or at least the second week of the high school football season. But you got college and pros, and man, there's so much for us to talk about because you have not only players that have gone off to play college ball, professional ball, you have coaches that are coaching in the NFL and coaching on the highest level of collegiate ball.
Well, when you say that, I really feel good about it because at least it shows consistency. That means that if you get one outstanding person like you
out of
that
Columbus,
started
Georgia.
the same time I did and came into a program that was almost nothing, but you contributed to the building of that program that years after years after years, Carver became the high school that it is today. And I can't say enough about you because you were the beginning of my legacy. I was a rookie, didn't know a whole lot, but were determined that I was going to make that thing work. And you being the first quarterback, threw the first touchdown pass for me as a coach, I just can't say enough about it. I don't know how many people talk about the job that you all are doing with the program that you started. It's just amazing.
Well, Coach, again, man, I tell you, we can sit and talk, and we have for hours. But thank you for coming on the show and, of course, explaining to everybody out there, again, how this great game, the 61st Annual Heritage Bowl, and, of course, the games that you played in and the games that you coached in. But we appreciate you for all that you've done for Muskogee County. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with the Georgia-Alabama Sports Live High School Football Game of the Week.
Welcome back here. Excellent job by my partner in crime, DJ Jones, on that halftime show. We got to talk to a bunch of great people, and now it's time for some football here in the second half. Spencer set to kick off to Carver, and the kickoff underway is a squib kick. It is going to be returned by West, and West is going to take it to the outside, makes two people miss. He keeps going. Now he's all the way to half court. Midfield, he makes an incredible spin move, but then there goes that flag that we have seen a lot this game, DJ.
Yeah, you know what? Usually that flag that's thrown is usually a block in the back, a clipping penalty, but we'll wait and see. Exciting and an energizing return by West for the Carver Tigers, putting them in exceptional field position. Looks like they may have to kick this one all over again.
Alliance Specialty Contractors, thank you for your support. Also, Behringer Construction, LLC, Columbus Lions, Terry Johnson Agency, LLC. All of you have been incredible supporters of our Master Wall Incorporated. Thank you for Grant Smithwick and his staff. The Menifee Agency, Farmers Insurance, thank you. Morehouse School of Medicine, and Zaxby's. Thank y'all so much for what y'all do to make this possible. And so now they are going to keep the great field position, and they're going to start at the Spencer Greenway's 42-yard line.
Offsetting penalties on the kickoff and return will put the ball right where it needs to be at the 41-yard line of the Spencer Greenways for the Carver Tigers.
Mungan, who has been one of the better players here in this game. He has been efficient, and there goes Kobe Caslin, and that was a burst of speed, DJ. Quick 10-yard gain on that opening play.
Absolutely. Nice tackle on the play by Wesley Crawford. No, make that LeBron Upshaw, number 27.
LeBron.
Yeah.
Not heard LeBron ever before in a broadcast. Other than LeBron James. So shout out to LeBron there. And now, was it a flag?
I want to take the opportunity to give a big ups to, once again, the chairman of the Muskogee County School District, of course, Pat Hughley Green, Principal Christopher Lindsay of the George Washington Carver Tigers, Miss Rosa Patterson from Spencer, and, of course, the legendary Wallace Davis. Boy, we packed a punch. We usually interview guys during the show. We have 4, 5, 6 interviews, but we took that little 20 minutes and made it work.
Yeah, you made it work, and you did a great job at that, DJ. There is a penalty, so it's going to be 1st and 15, but we talked to someone important at Spencer, Carver, someone important for the entire Muskogee County School District. She had an announcement that we have here first, and then, of course, talked to the legendary Wallace Davis. I mean, no one else is pulling punches like that, DJ, other than Sports Visions and Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Hey, you know.
All right, 1st and 15.
You know, halftime was very important for both teams. Obviously, Coach Kegler was making sure that his team understood that, hey, look, 15 points is not a lot for us to come back from, but we have to be disciplined and we have to play good defense. And, of course, the Carver Tigers on the other side was just the opposite. Coach Kegler says, hey, let's put our foot on their throat. Let's score right now and continue to score.
So they're going to redo 1st down now. Mungan gives it back off to Caslin, and there goes Caslin again. I mean, he is a burst of speed. This guy is an incredible athlete. As a freshman last year, he was the leading scorer for the Carver Tigers basketball team. He's also a great football player, and he gets 6 on that one. Actually, make it 8.
I don't know this for a fact, but obviously the explosion and then the quick twitches that he has, he's looked like an impressive sprinter.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know what, Carver's had several of those in the last 3 or 4 years.
Mungan rolls out to the right, looking, going deep. He's wide open as West, and he has been wide open all game long. I don't know how the Spencer Greenways keep losing, Mr. West.
Well, that particular play was a bust in the coverage because obviously he was covered up until he released into the deep part of the third. You know, again, sometimes you just, you panic back there as a defensive back, and I hate to say it, but, you know, this is the wrong time to panic because, again, that was a big play and put Carver in great field position.
So now it's 1st and goal, Carver. Caslin in the backfield, getting a lot of touches. He's going to get this one. He's going to bounce it out to the outside. And he's going to get all the way down to the 6-yard line. Great job by Kobe Caslin. But, man, I'm telling you, we talked a lot about Gary Gaither, but the best quarterback so far in this game has been Matthew Mungan.
Matthew Mungan, and, of course, the electric ability of, again, Kobe Caslin. 5'9", 170 pounds, but he is one quick dude.
Are they? Mungan's not in the game right now. They do have someone else at quarterback, number 6. And there is a fumble on the play. And it's going to be Spencer Greenway ball. So they were trying to do a wildcat for number 6, Jamarcus Davis, DJ. Bad snap, and Spencer gets a big break, the one they needed. Huge break for the Green Waves, and again, this gives them an opportunity to once again close this gap. Obviously down 15-0. Going to be very, very important for Gary Gaither. Number 10, Joe Dozier came up with the ball, DJ.
Okay, all right. So, again, this is a very crucial set of downs for the Spencer Green Waves, and it's going to be key for Gaither to keep his composure and make sure that his offensive line can keep those Carver Tiger defensive linemen off of him, keep him clean so that he can work his way down the field.
And that's where a wildcat formation came back to haunt them. Getting the ball out of the hands of Mungan, not something you wanted to see with Carver. Gary Gaither has it now for Spencer. He hands it off to Williams. And he gets minimum gains as Justin Williams. And we've seen a lot of that, DJ. That's 3 possessions in the goal line for both teams in which we've had a turnover. And you're not expecting that with 2 elite offenses like Spencer and Carver.
Like I said before, just not making excuses, but early in the season, those sloppy, turnovers have to be cleaned up. Obviously, you don't want it to happen now, but, it's because they're just, trying to click, trying to find each other, and, they got to zip that up.
We got a stack to the near side. Single set on the far. Gaither. Man moves is Justin Williams. Gaither rolls, throws it to Mr. Brunson. Kalen Brunson gets a few yards.
Strong tackle by, of course, Montgomery. Tony Montgomery, we told you he was, of course, the transfer from Spencer to Carver. And he also went from running back to strong safety for the Carver Tigers.
And you talked about this earlier in the first half. He's going against his friends, man. He's going against guys that he bled with. He won a state championship in basketball with, a region championship in football, and now he's on the other side. That's a little bit extra motivation for him.
I'm going to give you a little statement on that here after this next play.
All right, we got trips now over to the far side. Gaither on a 3rd down and short here in their own territory after the big turnover. Takes the snap, looks, fires, open. Able to make a quick move and get the first down is DeMarcus Horn.
And Norvell Maddox forced the receiver out of bounds. Talking about, being friends with these guys and being in one school and going to the opposing school and you're playing against each other. One thing that I love about this game is that no matter how much you love this game, that never changes. When you go between those white lines, it doesn't matter how much money you got, what school you got, how good of friends you are. It's you against them. It's your team against the other team. And you know what? That's the great thing about football. I love it, the competition. And you know what? At the end of the day, no matter who wins this game, I guarantee you those players out there still have love for each other.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time. I'll trash talk all my best friends when we're playing against each other and then dap them up, say you love you when the game's over with. And that's what we're going to see here. All right. They have not moved the chains, and I'm wondering why, because obviously it is a first down. There is a flag, so I guess the White Hat's trying to give us what was the penalty. Now they finally move the chains.
I tell you what, down 15-0 here with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. It's time for Gary Gaither to put these Green Waves on his back.
And he's going to have to. And if he's the all-world guy, I know it's a lot for him, but when you're at that position, you get all the hype. This is what expected of you. By the way, there was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Carver Tigers. They're going to tack on 15 more, so now the Green Waves are at the 35, and I'm with you, DJ. I said it during media days, let Caden Clay cook for Northside. You definitely got to let Gary Gaither cook. Just let him do his thing. Let him be a playmaker.
And nobody knows Gary Gaither any better than Coach Kegler, the head coach and the offensive play caller for the Green Waves.
He hands it off. Williams bounces it out. Ball's on the ground. Man, DJ, that was a hard hit. You could hear that thump all the way up here in the press box.
Good presence of mind by the offensive lineman who pounced on the ball, Henry Cobb. Boy, he saved his team a turnover. That's a big play that you'll hear in the film room because, again, that could have been a difference maker if Carver was able to recover in Spencer's territory.
And I know that's one thing both teams, their coaching staff have preached on, taking care of the football, especially when you're about to go in and score. You got to keep that thing high and tight, DJ, because they're trying to knock it out, trying to get a big play on the defensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. And those are the fundamentals that you practice each and every day. You go to a football practice. If you don't see the running backs and the quarterbacks practicing ball protection drills, you aren't at the right practice because that's the number one thing is basically holding on to the football, not fumbling, giving the opponent an easy opportunity to make mistakes based on your turnovers. Really impressive crowd on both sides. Now, obviously, the 100-degree weather that we started with at opening kickoff is down to, I'm just going to take a wild guess. It's probably down to about 87.
87 degrees.
What?
DJ. I mean, somebody's got a weather guy in his future. All right, here we go. Gaither throws it deep. Nobody's there. And then trying to catch up to it does Brunson. He overthrows him, but the defensive back for Carver was step for step with him, DJ.
Absolutely. And, again, that was Tony Montgomery, the strong safety, running step for step with the receiver. But even with an incomplete pass, Gary Gaither is so exciting and so explosive that the air underneath that, it made you feel like you had a chance because he had a receiver running, even though he was covered. It still, you had to, you just took that deep breath.
Yeah. Third down and long now for Gaither. We've only seen one big play for the Green Waves, and that was the opening play, Kalen Brunson for 60 yards. Third down, Gaither takes it, looks, steps up in the pocket, and we're going to have our first sack. He does get rid of it. Are they going to call intentional grounding? Was he still in the pocket? The referees are still discussing. There is a injured player on the field, so they are not going to call intentional grounding. It is going to be fourth down, though, for the Green Waves, and I don't think they're going to go for it here.
Great rush of the passer by Taquise Brown, the linebacker for the George Washington Carver Tigers. Injured player on the field for the Carver Tigers.
There's been a lot of cramps, which is expected in this heat, and yes, you're still going to catch cramps. You're going to catch more cramps later on in the game, even with the sun going down and it getting cooler. As DJ talked about, staying hydrated. Me and Rex Castillo, by the way, thank you to Rex Castillo being a part of our high school game day, Morehouse School of Medicine Pick'em. And he talked about it. He's like, man, they didn't move the game. They kept it at 7 o'clock. They needed to drink water for the past 3 days to make sure they were hydrated for this game. Drinking the day of, that's not going to really help you much.
By the way, who did Rex pick?
The Spencer Green Waves.
Okay. All right. Well, again, there's still a lot of time left. 6:55 left in the third quarter. Only down 15-0. And who did you pick?
I didn't pick.
We can't pick.
Yeah,
we just basically gave a preview.
Yeah, and we were given our keys to the game. But I will say, last week was inaugural high school game day. DJ was there. He set the precedent for everyone that's picking now. You're going to have to put on the helmet. I told Rex, I said, I don't care how dirty that is or how many players wore it. You got to put the helmet on when you pick the game like your league Corso. 15-0 here. Carver over Spencer, 6:55 remaining in the third quarter, and we got a fourth down now, and Spencer's going to have to punt after getting that big turnover.
Courtney Kelly was the injured Carver player. He jogged off the field, looked like he's going to be okay.
set to return for the Carver Tigers. And there is a booming punt. And Kobe Castle's going to catch it off the bounce. No, he's just going to let it stay there smartly. But a great punt. And the Carver Tigers get the ball back at the 21-yard line. Let's give us some more shout-outs to our sponsors that made this possible. Auto Gallery Chevy Buick GMC. Discover the best in new and pre-owned vehicles. Your go-to source, Auto Gallery Chevy Buick GMC. Mark Foster, thank you. Allstate, the Alex Quinney Agency. Thank you for what you do. And get all your insurance need with Alex Quinney and his Allstate Agency. Home, car, boat, and more. And Sports Visions. You can listen to our radio show Monday and Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. on 92.1 Smooth R&B. And PMB Broadcasting, the myriad of radio stations, including Q107.3, Kissin 99.3, 98.3 The Beat. There's a myriad of stations. We're all in the community, all the on-air talent that makes PMB family, including me and DJ. We love being a part of it, and thank y'all so much for what you do for us.
And if you're out there watching the game and you happen to know some of the scores in the area, feel free to let us know. Texas.
Glenwood leads Brookstone 24-7 as they're about to head into halftime. And the opening play is a first down for the Carver Tigers.
Once again, the explosive Castlin running up inside for about 15 yards. First down.
Mungan hands it back off to Castlin. Castlin is the workhorse today. Breaks a couple tackles. Breaks another one. There goes Castlin. And there he goes all the way. Is he going to be able to make it one man to beat? And he gets tackled down at the 15-yard line. But what an incredible run by the sophomore.
He broke about 2 tackles, made about 3 people miss. But I tell you what, the star of that play was the defender who ran him down. Again, he could have gave up, and Castlin broke out into the open field and was headed to the end zone. But the one defender from the Spencer Green Waves ran him down, didn't give up on the play, and you have to have players like that.
But, man, Castlin, I mean, he is just bouncing off tacklers right now, and he is showing Coach Coffey that he can be that workhorse, and he did a great job right there, DJ.
Very impressive drive, very impressive run. Again, 165 pounds, 175 pounds, 5'9", but again, this guy's put together really, really well. But again, low center of gravity, excellent quickness, and that explosive speed that you see, a 100-meter guy come out of the blocks. Because again, he doesn't take but a step or two to get in full speed.
Harris County leads Russell County 13-0 in the second quarter. We're going to try to get you up to date on all the games that are happening around the area. LaGrange was beating Northside last time we heard. We'll try to get an update on Calvary as well. Pacelli beating Tatnall Square 27-7. So they're avenging that loss last year. Their only loss of the season to Tatnall on their way to a state championship and losing last week to Glenwood. We'll try to get you updated too on Central. So, again, like DJ said, please just comment. We got a ton of comments right now, and we appreciate all the love you're showing us.
Want to welcome all of the Spencer alumni and Carver Tigers from all over the United States and all over the world. Watching from, again, this is a military town. Fort Moore, formerly Fort Benning, has been afforded to a lot of servicemen who are Carver and Spencer fans.
And there is the end around. And nice job picking up a few yards is number 8, Tyquist Brown.
Excellent tackle made by Ben Watson. Nice thud.
It was actually Jamarcus Davis. Excuse me. Second down and 9 now. All right. The Carver Tigers, they do have 1 touchdown offensively. The other one's a kick return. But they also got 2 turnovers here in the red zone. Let's see if they can capitalize being at the 15-yard line. Mungan telling his receiver to back up. Takes it, rolls out. Screen pass over to West. West makes one man miss and gets to about, I'd say, the 8 or 9 yard line to make it third down and short now for the Tigers.
I tell you what, this point of the game is very, very critical. It's the 5 minutes left in the third quarter. And again, you're talking about hydration and of course, being in condition. This is the part of the game from this point on is going to be a difference maker. Big hit. Once again, Ben Watson for the Green Waves upended the running back.
And that's going to make it 4th down. He didn't get anything on that, does Kobe Caslin. One of the few times. So now, 1st down and goal. Hands it off. Up the middle. Does he get all the way in? He dives over. And it is a touchdown for the Carver Tigers. Excellent run by number 28, Zion Mabry. He comes in for Caslin, and he gets a touchdown.
Very impressive drive by Coach Coffey's Carver Tigers. Matthew Mungan was out of the lineup for the last series, and it was forced to fumble, but he's back in, and of course, leading 21-0. They're going for 2 to try to make it 23-0.
I don't blame him either. I mean, what do you have to lose? You're still up by 3 touchdowns if you don't get it. And obviously, you know, try some of your 2-point plays that maybe you can use later on in the season.
And the fact that they don't have a PAT kicker, that gives you that limits you in what you can do.
There is a penalty, and that's going to be a false start on the Carver Tigers. So if they were going to kick it, obviously they want to kick it a lot closer than where they're at now. So they're dang sure going to go for it. 21-0, and it's getting danger time for those Spencer Green Waves, DJ. This next possession is going to be a huge one.
Yes, indeed. 4:13 remaining in the third quarter, and again, this quarter seems to be going by pretty doggone fast.
Yeah.
Compared to the other first 2 quarters of the game.
Drew Barringer, DJ Jones, Georgia Alabama Sports Live High School Showcase. Presented by Sports Visions. Here comes Mungan on the 2-point conversion. He throws up a fade and almost caught, but good coverage by Spencer, so it's no good, but not before the damage is done. Carver now up 21-0 on the Green Waves.
Yes, indeed. Again, 4 minutes left in the third quarter and an entire 1 more quarter left in the fourth. This is where, again, all the electrolytes and all the good stuff, the nutrients that you've been putting in your body, is going to make a difference. It seems to look, is that me, or are these Spencer fans giving up and leaving?
That's what it looks like. You see a lot of guys that are starting to come up. Which this game, DJ, this 4:13 in the third
It's
third
far
quarter.
from over.
Far from over, especially with a high-powered offense like the Green Waves. And you know what would be funny if they take this to the house on a kickoff return for a touchdown or have a big play, and then all of a sudden these people are turning right back around to go and watch it.
I love it when you're at a ball game and people give up on their teams and they leave way before time. And again, you know, and I love it. Like you said, if just for the sake of making those folks look like idiots.
Yeah.
You know, I would love for Spencer to get a little surge, a score or 2. And as those folks are walking out, you know, they're going to try to walk back in. But then, you know what? The cops are saying, no, you can't come back in. You're out, you're out.
Yeah. And you know, one that makes me, the one that pops into my mind is the Miami Heat. Remember when Ray Allen hit that 3-pointer and everybody thought, you know what, the Spurs about to win the NBA Finals? They half the entire arena left. And then all of a sudden you see like videos of people trying to rush back in. It's like, no, you're going to be a fair weather fan. You're going to leave. You're not going to stick through it. And by the way, if you're going to be and stick through all the sun, you might as well now. It feels good outside. Just wait another quarter or so and see what's going to happen.
Well, one thing that I definitely got to let you know, though, that might not just be leaving just to leave. You know, of course, tailgating is still going on in the parking lot, and they might still have some beverages and some food that they could knock off, you know, for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, I completely agree. And by the way, for all those that are commenting and stuff, you want to be a sponsor for these broadcasts, you want to be a sponsor for the Sports Visions radio show, all you got to do is contact me or DJ Jones, DM us, and we can make you an integral part of our broadcasts and our radio shows. All you got to do is ask. That's the old saying for DJ. No harm in asking.
Ask not, have not.
All right. We just talked about it. Huge possession now for Spencer. They need to move the football, and they need to score a touchdown. It's 21-0.
Back deep for the Spencer Green Waves, Keyshawn Sampton. And if you know what I know, I don't think the Carver Tigers kicker should be kicking it anywhere near Sampton.
I am with you on that, and I would expect maybe a squib kick here. We've seen that a lot. And there it is. There's a squib kick that's going to go right out of bounds, and that's going to be good field position for the Spencer Greenways. Gary Gaither, he's been bottled up, DJ, so far in this game and hasn't been able to get into the end zone.
You know what, though? You know, that's a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. You know, one thing about explosive quarterbacks like Gaither, you know, he's not. You can never go to sleep on him because, again, you know, a couple of throws, and they could be right back in this.
Exactly right. And by the way, for all those that are watching or those that didn't tune in the first half or whatever it may be, this is going to stay on our Facebook pages. This is going to stay on YouTube. You can replay it. You can watch it over and over again. I don't care what you do with it. It's there for you to do whatever you want. This broadcast presented by Sports Visions. And that's the beauty of live streams, DJ, that it doesn't go away. It just stays there for you to watch whenever you want. And these high schooler players, like, I know if we could go back in time, I would love to have something like this to go back after the game and watch how I played.
Absolutely. Once again, big ups to our halftime guest. We had with us the chairman of the board of the Muskogee County School District, Pat Hughley Green, both principals from Carver and Spencer, as well as the legendary Wallace Davis.
All right, Gaither gets Witherspoon in the right position. Moves him again in motion. Looks for a screen. No, throws it. I tell you, the one thing I do notice the most about Gary Gaither, and that was at a Marcus Horn, he can zip it. That ball comes out fast from his arm.
A.J. Wilson is on the tackle. A.J., one of the top defenders with the Carver Tigers. Hadn't been calling his name a lot tonight, but still a lot of football left.
Second down now and about 6. Coach Kegler just wanting any type of break, any type of big play here for his Greenways to get right back in this game. Gaither.
3 scores down. That's not a lot.
At all, especially with an offense like this. Gaither looks, throws it. Man, what a catch by Horn. They're going to say that is complete, and a zip throw from Gaither. I did not think he was going to make that throw. He didn't have much to work with, but that is completion. Going to be a first down.
Big hit by Ja'Cory West on the play. Also in on that tackle, Zay Billingsley. Tell you, you're talking about catching the ball with your hands. That was a grown man catch right there.
Yeah. He definitely stuck those hands out, and that's an impressive feat. But also the gloves they got, DJ, they are very helpful. You know, the material they use, it allows for these guys to make these incredible catches.
Can I tell you a secret?
Go ahead.
Those gloves are great, but if you can't catch, you can't catch. The gloves are not going to catch it for you.
Yeah, if you can't catch a cold, gloves ain't going to help you catch it.
You can't catch a cold buck naked in Alaska.
First down now. And Spencer uses their, I think, second time out of the half. That leaves them 1. That's not what you want here early in the third quarter, but Coach Kegley didn't like something he saw. We're going to give some shout-outs to our sponsors. Alliance Specialty Contractors. Thank you, Jody Crum. Behringer Construction, LLC. The Columbus Lions. Damian Neihart Daniels, the new coach. Looking forward to that season. Terry Johnson Agency, LLC. Thank you. Masterwall Incorporated. Thank you to Grant Smithwick. Dan Menifee and the Menifee Agency. He loves high school sports. I appreciate what Dan means to Sports Visions and, of course, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Morehouse School of Medicine. And Zaxby's. Speaking of which, I know you're hungry, DJ, so am I. Some Zaxby's is calling my name. I don't think we're going to make it in time. They close at 10. But we've had a lot of fun here, DJ. And
yes, we have.
It's been an incredible event, and we're hoping that this game's going to go down the wire. It's 21-0 now, but we keep talking about it's far from over with. 1st and 10 now for the Green Waves. Gaither hasn't had a terrible game, just hasn't had that touchdown. Takes the snap. And he's going to take off QB keeper. This is the first time we're seeing his legs, and he doesn't get much of anything. Good tackle.
Excellent tackle by the Carver Tigers, number 9, Norvell Maddox. came up, roped, and tied him.
And Coach Coffey said it. They got a lot of depth. They're using a lot of guys in and out. So it's not just the same starting 11 on the defensive side of the ball. They're using a lot of guys.
And that helps, too, again, when you talk about conditioning, because you don't see Spencer rotating a lot of guys, but you got these fresh bodies in for the Tigers, man. That has an effect.
Gaither takes the snap. Looking, throws it. He got a man open. Caught! And there's the big play they were looking for. Number 12, Keyshawn Sampton, going down the sideline, but an incredible throw on the run by Gary Gaither.
And Tavius Watts and Tony Montgomery were in the coverage, but just a very, very impressive play by the receiver to go up and high point the ball and come down with it.
That was a great throw, and I've been impressed with these receivers being able to stick it with those hands. As you talked about, DJ, these guys know how to catch and go up and get it. They don't let the ball just come to them, and that was an incredible throw on the run. I mean, he is so accurate, and this guy's definitely going to be playing at the next level.
You said a mouthful there, Thrift. There's several of these young men that have an opportunity to play at the next level. .159 remaining in the third quarter. Ball on the 18-yard line as Spencer's driving, trying to get 7 points on the board, trying to get a score. Just get one score.
That's it. All you need is one, DJ. You're right back in the game. The momentum's back with you. Your defense hasn't played terrible. You've only given up 2 offensive touchdowns. Gaither takes a snap, hands it off to Witherspoon, and Witherspoon gets a nice gain on first down.
Swallowed up by that defensive front of the Carver Tigers.
And it's hard to get in between the tackles. That's something that we've seen. You've been calling Carver games for a long time. I've been doing it for the last 3 years, and that defensive front has always been a strength for the Carver Tigers.
You know, it's funny, Spencer scored 65 points last week. Carver scored 47 points last week. But right now, we're looking at 21-0 Carver with less than a minute and a half left in the third quarter.
Gaither getting the sign and the signal from Kegler. Man in motion. Option play. He's going to keep it. And he's going to get maybe a yard on that to set up third down. And this is what happens. This has happened several times when Spencer gets into the red zone. They get that big play, and then they start going backwards. Or they have a turnover.
Don't know quite the meaning of that play, but I definitely want to keep the ball in the hands of a guy like Gary Gaither. Obviously, with the game on the line, and this game is on the line, I like my chances with him with the ball in his hands.
All right, obviously, this is going to be a throwing down. Trips. And a single receiver and Horn on this side. Takes a snap. Out of the backfield is Witherspoon. He's going to throw it over the middle. Are they going to say pass interference? No, they're going to say great coverage. Oh. There is something going on. People are running right now.
What in the world?
They're going to
let's go ahead and take a break.
Yep, let's take a break, and we're going to cut the cameras off. We'll be back after this. see. How much more you want to? We'll just wrap it up real quick. We won't even mention it. We don't talk. Welcome back here. So we had some. They have called the game. We had an unfortunate event here. We don't know. We don't have any details. We can't give you anything. What we're going to do is just going to go ahead and end this broadcast. It was a great game. It's been a great day. It is sad that something like this has happened. It is scary that something like this has happened. We don't know all the details. It will come out here in the future, but they are going to call the game. Carver is going to win this one 21-0. Thank you again to all our sponsors, including Alliance Specialty Contractor, Terry Johnson Agency, Master Wall, Columbus Lions, Zaxby's, Behringer Construction, Farmers Insurance, the Menifee Agency, Auto Gallery, Chevy, Buick GMC, Morehouse School of Medicine, P&B Broadcasting, Alex Quinney Agency, Sports Visions. Thank you so much. So from Thrift Behringer, DJ, any final thoughts?
Yeah, it's just a shame that these kids work so hard. The band, the cheerleaders, of course, the dance team, and the players for something like this to happen. But you know what? It is what it is. 21-0 after 3 quarters. Chalk up a win for Carver.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we will be back next week. Thank you for everyone for making this possible. From Thrift Behringer to DJ Jones, Georgia, Alabama Sports Live, presented by Sports Visions. Carver wins this one. Have a good night.